You're listening to the San Diego Brewzik Podcast. Out on Twitter at SD Brewzik. Find us on Facebook and hit us up on Instagram. Make sure you visit us at sdbrewzik.com. And now with your host, Brett Reichman, this is the SD Brewzik Podcast.
So, welcome to round 5 of the SD Brewzik podcast. This is going to be a little bit different this time, huh, buddy?
Round 5.
Yeah, this is round 5, and we're, well, I'm sitting here with Justin Smith at his house because this is actually where we recorded round 5.
Yep.
And it was for a party that you were having.
Yes.
You want to talk about the party a little bit?
It was a wonderful party.
It was a wonderful party. Why were we having the party?
I don't know, but I got all smacked up. I think it was just a let's cook up some food party. I do like to smoke my meats.
Well, that's not the only thing I like to smoke.
And drink my beer. Yeah, we were just celebrating life by eating animal flesh smoked in my smoker. And
yeah,
what? I can't remember. Was it in May?
I think it might have been in May. It was either May or June. I can't remember which. Because
it wasn't that far back, dude.
Yeah,
it's August right now.
Well, no, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
Well, no.
You got to remember, round 3 was recorded on April 29th.
I think it might have been after spring semester. It was like I'm done with school for a couple week break, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah,
it was a break.
Honestly, I think we need to speed up the bringing out the new episodes because it's like
yeah, I agree.
We're on round 8 right now as far as recording goes, and we're just now releasing round 5.
I think that's good. I think we'll catch up, and then we'll start releasing them more frequently. I think we'll have to, because we'll have to stay current, especially with some of these bands we're talking to, because they have stuff going on right now or next week, and we don't want to be advertising or trying to promote their endeavors and be behind. Yeah, exactly.
No, I get you. So this podcast, we're actually talking to quite a few interesting characters. The first one you're going to hear is our buddy Jason Smith. Now, Jason Smith used to be in a band called Difficult Henry. They're from Idaho, and they moved here in, I think it was 2002 or 2003. And kind of took over the scene for a little while. They were a bigger band. A lot of people still remember them.
Very, very active dudes.
Yeah, very active dudes.
Yeah.
And they played a lot of shows, made a lot of friends, lifelong friends. Jason's still to this day one of my best friends. And we're actually going to be conversing about a buddy of ours who was his old lead singer, a guy named John Moore, the late John Moore. Really good friend of mine, passed away back in 2013.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was 3 years. 3 years ago as of June. So anyway, we're going to be talking about just music in general, things that John liked, things that bothered Jason about what John liked.
Yeah, and Jason's quite a bit of a talker, so he can go on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's like,
he's going to listen to this.
For sure. No, we listened to the first segment already. We kind of just get a rundown, but Jason likes, he's got a, what I say is an information hoarder. And
he is an information hoarder.
It used to be music and metal, all things metal, and now it's kind of, he's transposed his need to fitness and meaty stuff.
Well, he is a pretty
muscularity. Yeah,
he's a pretty muscular dude.
And now he's a certified personal trainer at 24 Hour Fitness, and he's all meated up.
He's all meated up.
He's meated out.
He's meat.
So, yeah, this next segment is it comes in with Brett and Jason just talking shop music, and not meat. They're talking music.
Yeah.
Not once did Brett mention his guns, which surprised me.
Not once, because they're not that impressive.
Well,
So we're gonna let it go to me and Jason talking about music and.
well, wait a minute. Before we go there, you want to talk about beer? We're sipping
honestly,
on some beer.
we have to talk about beer because on this podcast we don't talk about beer. I think once. I think we talk about it maybe once, and that's about it.
Yeah, so this is good.
So we need to talk about some beer.
Right now, Brett and I are sipping on the new Sam. No, not Sam. I keep saying Sam.
Keep saying Sam Adams. What's up with you?
Well, we're drinking Sierra Nevada's Oktoberfest, and normally
Sam Adams is famous for their Oktoberfest.
Yes, Sam Adams always has a good Oktoberfest.
Yeah, but this is a Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest.
Sierra Nevada, and it's a collaboration brew actually with a German brewmaster. So it is more traditional. It's a Märzen, for those of you familiar with the Oktoberfest style in the old world, old terminology. Basically, this beer is lighter than what you're used to seeing or drinking from an Oktoberfest, what we get in America. This is very golden. It's more like a Pilsner to me. It's
it's definitely not as dark as most Oktoberfests that you see.
Yeah, and the actual Märzen style is a little lighter, a little less caramel malts.
Kind of reminds me of like the Pilsners and stuff that you get when you're at an Oktoberfest. You know, like you go down to the Spring Valley Oktoberfest or El Cajon.
I've been to the real deal.
Well, you've been to the real one, I know.
The real deal, motherfucker.
But I'm just saying.
And yes.
we know.
You are correct.
But you see all these like long German names of these different beers, and I couldn't tell you what they were, even though I've had them. But you see all these long German names, and you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna like literally roll the dice and see which one comes up, and this one's right on par with them. So you got to give it up to them.
Yeah.
Give it up to Sierra Nevada for coming out with something that was pretty legit.
Always, I like Sierra Nevada a lot, but Mare's Brow, or Broy, I think is how you say it. That's the brewery that they collaborated with, and that
Mare's
brewery's
Brow?
Mare's Brow, Broy with the kind of funny.
But I'm German and I still can't pronounce it. I can barely pronounce my own last name.
The umlaut over the A and the U combo, I think it's Broy, but correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, if anybody's listening. That brewery opened in 1670, so pretty old. So traditionally, old world, like legitimately. Bamberg.
Do you
Germany.
find that a lot of the older breweries like that have like a kind of a similar taste?
Yeah, there are not a lot of differences in a lot of the styles. They're very.
Was it just like a common recipe that a lot of people followed?
Yeah, and they're very old and established, so they're not very well. I mean, there's nuances, right, and differences. Like I found favorites among the, say I was drinking a Helles or another German like a Dunkelweizen or something like that. I had the ones I liked better, but I couldn't honestly pinpoint why. I was too busy getting drunk. So, but all the beers over there are very, very clean. You're not going to find any irregularities or off flavors or any inconsistencies. Rather, they're just old school, man. They've been doing it a long time, a lot longer than us. So one thing that craft beer industry can definitely improve on is their quality control. And a lot of these younger breweries, they don't know. You got to cut them some slack. They learn as they go, and they'll start establishing.
Well, you got to figure. I mean, it's like a lot of these guys are just starting. Even Stone comparatively is a baby compared to some of these guys.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So it's like they've got a long history ahead of them. You know what I mean? They got a lot of future ahead of them to perfect. Exactly what they do.
20 years compared to 200, 300. Some even 1,000 years. Like
1,000 years.
Weihenstephaner, I think, is one of the oldest. And it's not quite 1,000 years, but it's really old.
That's old as hell.
Yes. Yeah. And like
it's like when you can go back
too.
to the age of the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're old.
Yeah. And so imagine they have pretty good quality control, and the recipe is probably firmed up, 300 years ago and hasn't changed. So anyway, that's the beer we're drinking, and it's damn good. It's a very.
It is tasty. It's very tasty.
Especially if you're thirsty.
Yeah, tell me about it, man. No, it's kind of funny because it doesn't remind me. Well, like you were saying, it's lighter than a regular Oktoberfest, which is strange because usually when Oktoberfest you think of more hearty beers.
Yeah,
just something a little
lighter
darker.
In color, lighter in malty.
Yeah, and this is almost like a summer beer.
Yeah, it does. It does taste more reminiscent of a summer beer. It's like it really is close to a Pilsner. If you put this next to a Pilsner, the Pilsner would be a little bit hoppier, color would be the same. Mm-hmm. It's going to give you the biscuity notes like this one does. It's not going to be a lot different, especially to the untrained tongue. So, anyway, that's the beer. So, as we're going to roll into this clip, listening to Jason and Brett ramble. Doing what they do best.
Just ramble.
Chewing each other's ears off.
I'm a rambling man. Seriously, dude. No, Jason definitely has the gift of gab, and he exercises it on this episode, round 5 of the SD Brewzik podcast. See you on the other side.
guide for touring, when I read that thing, I think it was actually my little brother that bought it. That was a pretty standard thing back then for bands, was they tell you, when you send off a demo, only 3 songs, even if you have a full album written, only 3 songs, and put your best 3 songs, because that's all that's going to get heard. And probably only like 30 seconds of each song is going to be heard. Okay. And I've always thought that whenever I've read reviews, and then I actually listened to the album they just reviewed, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's lots of different stuff on this, or it's not what the review guy said. And it makes you wonder how much of the whole album do they actually listen to? Yeah. Where I think now with like digital,
what I was always told. You know what I was always told as a buddy musician when I was in my early 20s, and probably from my early 20s to my early 30s. All right, they were always saying that if you send an album, a record label, anything, okay, one, they don't take unsolicited stuff, so you can't just send it to them. You have to have somebody that they know or trust or whatever. Actually bring them in your music, all right? And if they listen to it, they're listening to literally the first 20 seconds of the first song, and that's it. You know what I mean? And the thing is, I was told that forever. I mean, literally every person that I met that was in the industry backed that up and said, yeah, they don't listen to shit. They literally listen to like the first 20 seconds, and then if they like it, they'll fucking listen to more of it, and if they don't, they throw it in the trash. So I don't know. I mean, again, I don't know how true that is now. Well, especially since there's literally no physical media anymore. Well, it's all digital.
It's easier now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know how true that is anymore.
You can with the scrubbing. You don't have to fast forward, like legit fast forward it. You can just do the quick scrubbing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, I do it when I listen to, if I find a new band on Spotify, and it's like they got this, the intro is a little bit too long. It's like, okay, I want to hear what the actual song is like. I want to hear what this band sounds like. Yeah. So I'll just scrub it to like, a minute 30 or 2 minutes in.
And see what they're hitting.
And see what exactly is happening.
Yeah, see if they've got any good choruses going on, anything like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing too. You can do that same thing with some of those bands and say like, you're like me and you're like picky with your clean vocals and how much of it's there and stuff like that. And it's like, well, is this dude gonna start singing like a pussy in like 5 minutes or like? And so it's like you just kind of quickly just scrub through. I don't know, 2 or 3 songs or whatever, and you have a pretty good idea if you're gonna like it or not. Like, yeah, of course. Now if I was doing reviews, that would be completely different. But I'm, because it's not really about what you like and what it isn't, but it is. And that was one thing I always thought with reviews. Anybody doing an album review, there should be like some type of credential there on the site that they're reviewing on, or something where like there's something in writing that tells you what kind of shit they like. Because a guy that doesn't like black metal is going to review a black metal album. He's going to be like, fuck this shit.
I will say this, and this is the one thing that I think Rolling Stone has done right, is that when they review a metal album, they actually get a guy that's in the metal industry, all right, and knows about metal to do the review. All right, and you can't say that about a lot of fucking magazines, except for metal magazines, obviously, because the metal magazines are fucking... all they've got is metal dudes. But the thing is that when you get a major magazine or a major publication like Rolling Stone, and they actually employ some guy that is in the metal industry and knows these bands to actually do the review, that's kind of important. Because otherwise, you're gonna... I mean, if you get some guy that listens to fucking Kanye West to fucking go review a Gojira album...
I listen to Kanye West, and I can review a Gojira.
I know, but you're not... Really, Jason? Really?
What? Dude, that's legit. That's
no. I know that, but the thing is, again, you're not normal human being, dude. All right?
No, what I'm saying is...
You have the eclectic range of the entire fucking universe, dude. I've watched it.
I agree that at least they bring in a metal dude, but that's the thing. I know so many metal dudes that fucking hate metal. They hate certain types of metal. So it's like having me review a Mastodon album is one of the stupidest things you can do because I fucking hate Mastodon. But if I was gonna review a Mastodon
Okay, well,
album,
let me ask you a question, though.
Let
me ask you a question, then. If you were to review a Mastodon album, because I personally believe Mastodon's pretty brilliant. I mean, I've listened to a lot of their music, and I personally believe they're pretty fucking brilliant. All right? But if you were to review a Mastodon album and they impressed you, wouldn't that mean even more?
Well, no, that's the thing. You got to preface your review with here. You open up my review. First thing you read, okay, aside from a little picture of Mastodon's album cover, the name of the fucking album,
And
and the band.
a big circle with an X through it.
You already know what I'm talking. No, you already know what I'm talking about. So the first thing you would read is, let me preface this with this. I fucking hate Mastodon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I would do a review.
Yeah.
And then I would do what
Yeah,
I would
BT
consider,
Dubs, I fucking hate Mastodon.
Yeah. And then I would do what I would consider, my best to do an objective review. But that's the thing. So even if I was saying oh no, they didn't impress me, then the person reading that can go, oh, he wasn't impressed by a band he doesn't like. Not that weird, right?
Yeah.
So then they're like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But that's the problem. You don't get a lot of that. You just get fucking.
Well, that's
this
not
fucking
necessarily
album is
true because
blah,
I've
blah,
actually
blah.
seen reviews where they're like, look, I'm not a big fan of this band, but saying that, I mean, I've seen that.
Or
it's
the
not,
genre.
It's not like that.
I'm not
That's
saying
unheard
nobody ever does it. I'm just saying the majority of people don't. That's why I quit reading reviews. But that's the other thing too. I don't read any magazines anymore. If they make fucking magazines anymore, I don't read any fucking e-zine shit.
Well, yeah, they
I
make
don't
them, but
look
they
at
also put them
fucking-
online. So
I don't
it's
look
like,
at fucking blogs anymore. I don't fucking look at any of that shit anymore. I basically get on Spotify. I fucking find, dude, this fucking band. I've been meaning to ask you if you've heard these fucking guys. Even though you don't really listen to anything this heavy, but dude, this fucking band called Black Tongue.
I actually have heard of Black Tongue.
Fuck,
I have heard of Black Tongue.
that shit, and there's another one called Fane. It's, dude, that's some of the heaviest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. And I'm just sitting there thinking, how the fuck have I never heard of this shit? But then I was like, that's how you've never heard of this shit. You don't read any magazines. You don't look at any websites. Generally, when I used to
Jason,
like
I
bands
will
on
say that.
Facebook-
I will say this, man. I will say this. Out of somebody who used to be neck deep in the scene 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you know what I mean? Somebody who is neck deep, literally neck fucking deep in the scene. You were at every fucking show. You were either there to support or you were playing the show.
Oh, dude, I had every new band there ever fucking was.
Okay,
Had their shit.
I know,
was
and you were
listening to it.
fucking. You were the encyclopedia of fucking new metal, of metal that was just coming out. All right.
I was like, yeah, you should clarify.
Yeah, metal that was just coming out. Sorry. All right, not NU metal. Sorry.
That's right.
I mean, as far as death metal goes, I don't think I know anybody that knows any more about it. You literally know everything about fucking death metal and black metal and all that kind of stuff. But as far as lately, you have literally gone the opposite direction.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like now you don't go to shows. You
One of
don't
my-
really.
one of
You
my-
don't. I haven't really heard you talk about a new band in forever.
One of my favorite.
In fact, this is the first time I think I've heard you talk about a new band.
my 3 favorite bands in the last, we'll say fucking last 7 years.
Okay.
Okay? Born of Osiris. I know one dude's fucking name. Lee McKinney. Ghost Inside. I know one dude's name. Jonathan Vigil. Whitechapel.
Yeah, but
I know one dude's name. Phil Bozeman.
you actually
That's
love
it.
you actually love Ghost Inside because you've told me that several times.
I used to when I loved a band like those 3 bands that much, I used to have to know, and I'm not saying I used to want to know. I used to have to know every last bit of information. I wanted to know dude, I could tell who's the bass player for Rat. Juan Crocier, or however the fuck you say his name. I know that dude because back then, I know names like that. I know names like Jeff Pilson, dude. Fucking come on, dude. Bobby.
Why does that name sound
Blotzer,
familiar?
Jeff Pilson played for Dokken.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
I knew all those fucking names, and the reason why was because fucking dude, I used to have to know every fucking last detail that was available anyway, because it was harder to get information. But I used to have to know all that shit. And like now, like I don't even give a fuck. It's just like, do they kick ass or not? Like, do I like the fucking music or not? And I just fucking listen to it now. Like,
See
it's just so weird.
And the thing is that what's funny about that is you have finally reached a point where you're on my level, because I've been there the entire fucking time.
Most people, like John, would be freaking out right now. 'Cause John would be like, "What the fuck?" But you know, before he fucking died, he fucking like did this weird fucking like 180 fucking thing where he was fucking hitting me up going fucking, dude, you heard this band called Ghost BC? And I'm like, no, I've never heard it. He's like, dude, can you download it for me?
Well, back then it was just Ghost. It wasn't even Ghost
whatever,
BC.
Yeah, just Ghost. He's like, will you download it for me, dude? I fucking hear this band, like, fucking bought. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, what's it like?
Well,
and he was like, dude, it's fucking super cheesy. It's
I will say
cool.
this, though. He would have been happy over the fact that they actually just won a Grammy. He would have been happy as fuck over
he'd
that.
have a fucking 3-foot boner sprinkled
know.
with Elvis dust. Because, like, he's like, he was so, I don't know, he hadn't talked to me in, like, forever. I mean, not about music or whatever. And he was just like, dude, you got to get this fucking album for me. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I downloaded this fucking album, and I thought, all right, I'll listen to it. All he told me was it was cheesy. And he loved it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I listened to it. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, this is the fucking worst band, dude. Fuck. I can't even believe he's listening to this shit. I was like, what the fuck? So I actually gave him some fucking Acacia Strain and, like, some fucking Born of Osiris and Ghost Society. Because I was like, fuck, dude, listen to this shit. Like, there's still heavy shit the kind of shit you used to like. But all of a sudden, dude, like, he listened to it. And he was telling me, he's like, fucking, I don't like that stuff no more. He's like, he goes, and I said, well, which ones did you not like? He's like, any of them. He's like, I like the Ghost stuff. He's like, will you get me some, what the fuck would he tell me to get him? He told me to get him some Chevelle, which I was like, what? But I also knew he liked Breaking
I like
Benjamin.
Chevelle. There's nothing wrong with Chevelle. Don't
Like,
start bagging on Chevelle.
He also told me that he liked, before we even moved from San Diego, he was into Breaking Benjamin when they first came out.
I like Breaking Benjamin too.
So then
I like Shinedown, dude. I just saw them live. They're amazing. They're fucking amazing. Come on.
So then he was like, what was the other one he told me to
There's
get?
nothing wrong with some good old fucking rock and roll, some hard rock.
He told me to get some Clutch, and I was like, all right, well, I mean,
Clutch is badass too.
I fucking love Clutch, dude. But I was like, it was weird because it was John.
Boom.
Like, this was the dude who showed me Emperor, dude. Like, this is the dude who had all the fucking CDs that I wanted.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, and all of a sudden he was just like,
yeah, can you give me some pussy ass shit?
Well, and that was the thing, because then it kind of hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, okay, so he's not going to shows all the time. He's not around a bunch of musicians who are talking about bands like, or who are even talking up bands like Soilwork, In Flames.
Yeah.
All these bands that he knew those bands anyway, but like, he was always around people talking it up, and he was always into it. But then all of a sudden it's like, he moves back up to Idaho, and it was basically, where is he going to hear new music? And it was the radio.
Yeah.
And he became one of those people, you know, the radio types. And honestly, right now, like, I think right now, you know, I honestly fucking believe, like, one of his favorite bands would be Five Finger Death Punch. Because I've heard that shit, and that is shit that John would fucking love, because that's the shit he was really digging on before
I will say
died.
this. The simple fact is that Five Finger Death Punch is kind of like the Trump of metal or hard rock.
You have to explain that, please.
Well, they're like, they pander to the lowest common denominator.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, they literally pander to the lowest common denominator. They write songs. I mean, they wrote a song that literally has the words "oorah" in the song. That to me is like, unless you're a fucking Marine.
Well, aren't they fucking Marines? Isn't one of them a Marine? I'm pretty sure one of them is.
Is Ivan a Marine? I have no idea.
One of them is a former armed forces guy.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
I know.
All I know is that, like, again, it's a whole lot of USA.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
well, dude, like, that's, and, you know.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be all fucking Star Spangled Banner about it, that's cool.
I mean, fucking
but
Black.
It's like, let's not fucking.
Black Label Society's kind of a America kind of band too.
America.
You know, Zach's always.
But again,
not
it's
always,
like,
but he's like that.
but I look at those bands. I look at those bands like Black Label Society and fucking Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, because
no. But I look at them and I say, look, I'm okay with you guys being all America about shit. But let's be real about it. Let's be honest. Let's at least be real about it. It's like, tell the total truth. Tell the whole truth. Don't just tell one side of the story and think that fucking America's all badass Star Spangled Banner, because it ain't.
Well, some people don't want to fucking hear that shit, man. Some people really do. Okay. Case in point. Kat posted a quote from Dave Grohl that said something like, when your number one song is about booty, there's something wrong with whatever. Mm-hmm. And
Sex sells, bro. Dave Grohl needs to get the fuck over that. Sex sells.
There was a lot of comments in there, and there was a lot of, older people.
No, I remember the quote. I remember the quote.
They were talking.
And the thing is, it was the same thing I said to her in person. And I said, look, sex sells. All right?
No, but I mean, there was a lot of people in there talking about this and that, and I was like, okay, for one, like, it's just meaningless stuff, whether it's about booty or if it's about whatever.
The Beatles had a number one hit called "I Want to Hold Your Hand."
Like,
I mean,
let's not forget the fact that not everybody needs to have like a life changer musically. Some people really just want a decent beat with not much behind it because they don't want to have to think.
It's got a good beat and you can dance to it.
Some people don't want to have to think about their music, and that's fine. Yeah. And some people, they don't want to think about this music, but they do want to think about this music. I mean, it's not saying that just because you like, okay, I like fucking Lil Wayne, but I also like Marilyn Manson or fucking dude like Megadeth, where they are a very political band.
Or
like,
Tesseract or something like that.
I do listen to shit that really doesn't mean anything and shit that does. But dude, also, here's another thing I brought up. Pinball Wizard?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
But again,
there's been songs.
But that was in the context of an actual, like, concept album.
Doesn't matter.
So there was a storyline that followed through with that song.
I Want to Ride My Bicycle. There's been songs that are pretty fucking meaningless.
No. There's been a shit ton of them, especially from that era. From that era.
Easily from that era.
There was like a lot of fucking songs that had nothing to do with fucking like anything deep at all.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, this shit ain't new, dude. Like, it's just because all of a sudden it's talking about something that you don't approve
Like I said,
of.
Beatles, one of the number one songs. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Literally was the fucking name of the song and the fucking chorus for the goddamn song. Number one song. I want to hold your hand. I mean, come on. It's like, how meaningful was that? It wasn't. Okay, I'm sorry. It just wasn't. It was about a guy wanting to hold a girl's hand. Period.
Yeah, I really, it's I saw another post. Again, it was her. She posted it, but I made my comment. But it was talking about, I don't know. It was something alluding to the fact that this generation is glued to like phones and this and blah blah blah. And there's something about the technology we have. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays.
Yeah. I get it.
I honestly put in there, I wasn't trying to start any shit or anything, which is probably why it didn't start any shit. But I just made a comment about like, sadly, or not, maybe not sadly, but I honestly feel like if any other generation had the stuff that we had, that our kids have
the technology,
now, they would be doing the exact same thing.
Well, of course.
It's human nature.
We're monkeys. We're
dude,
fucking monkeys, bro.
This idea that we need to be more.
No, we're literally goddamn fucking monkeys.
What if we are exactly what we're supposed to be? I'm not saying we can't evolve. I'm not saying we haven't evolved. I'm just saying, what if we are exactly what we're supposed to be, right? Yeah. Singing songs about, dude better eat the booty like the groceries, right? Like, what the fuck?
I never want to hear that shit come out of your mouth ever again.
I started thinking about that. Like, because of that Dave Grohl thing, I'm sitting there looking at like some of the bigger songs right now. And even as a rap and R&B fan, I'm listening to these fucking songs. Like, these fucking songs suck. Why is it popular? Here's why. One, melody has nothing to do with lyrics.
True.
Okay?
True.
So, the melody line is dope.
You know why? You know why that is? Because you can hum a melody.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's musical more than lyrical. But
Yeah.
the melody line's dope, so it gets stuck in your head.
Yep.
You can literally put whatever words you want.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not the only fucking dude on the planet
Okay, well,
that has a catchy fucking melody and makes my own words. Like Weird Al.
Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. And this is the why. This is the reason why advertisers use melody.
Oh, fuck.
In the most deceptive ways.
Who can't still hum the Oscar Mayer song?
Dude, by Menon.
Yeah.
Or
Dude,
the fucking Old Spice
the
commercials.
fucking Peyton Manning commercials where he's actually doing that.
Yeah. No, saying whatever he wants.
Nationwide.
Nationwide
Yeah.
is on your
He's
side.
actually doing that shit in the commercial. Like, it's like, dude. So that's the thing. Like, melody lines are a big deal.
Chicken parm, you taste so fuck you.
So I know I'm not the only one that does that. I mean, Weird Al made a career off of it, changing
Yes.
the lyrics to fucking with the same
Well,
melody line to
did
make
you
the same
see
thing.
Speaking of Ghost BC, did you see the filk that I did of their lyrics for Circe's or whatever it is?
I saw something like that, but I've never heard the song. I don't listen to those guys. Like, I just was
Okay,
like, oh, whatever.
dude, I literally went line by line and changed rewrote the entire song, so you could literally sing my version to the actual song, and it would line up perfectly.
Oh yeah, dude. Like that's the thing. Like
Only my version was called Feces.
So the fucking good call. The melody line is fucking. The melody line has to be good. If your melody line is good, it really doesn't fucking matter what you're saying. Here's a fucking major factor, and I've been saying this shit for fucking years. If the beat is fucking dope, the fucking shit will sell.
Yeah.
Okay, it will be popular.
Oh yeah.
Bottom line, that's just all there's to it. And that goes for any genre of fucking music, dude.
Yeah.
Like, look at the most popular styles of music, guaranteed they got good fucking beats. And they're pretty normal beats. People don't like to get, you don't see a whole lot of like exotic beats becoming very popular. And it's just because the masses aren't used to that fucking beat. Yeah. And it sounds weird to them. It's like time signatures, same thing. They're called odd time signatures for a reason. They're odd. And
usually it's because there's an odd number in there.
And people aren't
like
used to fucking
5-4 is an
hearing
odd time signature, 7-8 is an odd time signature.
And even then, they're not used a whole lot because they're fucking weird. And it's harder to just fucking tap your foot to it.
Yeah, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What bringing up John again? He hated the band Meshuggah, dude. He couldn't stand him.
Oh, I fucking love Meshuggah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Don't even get me started. But he hated him because he couldn't just headbang to it.
Well,
and I'll admit, it's a bit hard to do.
But again, you can't just bob your head to jazz either.
But he doesn't like jazz. Like, he didn't like any jazz either. Like,
that's retarded to me.
Here's another odd.
How do you not like one of the foundations of American music?
I'm not a huge jazz fan either. Like, I mean, there's some that shit that just gets too fucking weird. And I mean, people that sit there fucking like, oh, this fucking bullshit, this fucking dubstep, weird. It's not even music. Fuck, dude.
I will tell Miles that you said that.
I can fuck him. I'll tell him myself. Like, bring him up. But like, fucking,
he's dead, dude.
I'll fucking tell you. I'll tell you fucking right now. Yeah, dubstep. There is some shit in there. It sounds weird. Doesn't sound like fucking music all that much because it's so fucking odd. But dude, I can fucking show you jazz bands that do the exact same thing.
Oh, of course.
So that's the fucking thing. But John, he never here's another fun fact about fucking John, dude. He actually stopped liking a lot of black metal stuff. Bands like that he used to love, Dimmu Borgir, Cradle of Filth, although he didn't really stop liking Cradle of Filth. They just kind of changed in a way that he was kind of like, what the fuck? But a band like Emperor, he didn't like Emperor all that much. Why? Because they were too busy through the chorus, or through the verses.
Oh, okay.
So John,
way too much going on.
John was, even though he liked death metal and stuff, he was still in that almost what I called, commercial mode, where you're not too busy in your verses. Your choruses can be busy. Solo sections can be busy. Intros, outros, things like that. But your verses can't be too busy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Almost like that. I don't think he was so extreme like the Korn style where fucking, it's just bass and drums. but he wasn't quite that extreme. But he was very, very much. He was very much like, fuck that. Like, I can't listen to this music because it's too busy during the fucking verses. And I was sitting there going, what the fuck?
Well,
who are you?
Well, I will say this. I will say, at that point, rest in peace, John, you picky bastard. Because he was kind of a picky bastard.
Oh man, he was great. He fucking sits there and who the fuck were we talking to? I think we were talking to Schaffhausen one day.
Oh, Scott Schaffhausen.
Yeah, they were, I believe it was him. Him and Lindsay were up in Alpine, and they were talking about possibly I can't remember if they were talking about I think they had 2 guitar players. They lost a guy, and they were talking about going with just Scott. Mm-hmm. I think is what they were doing, or it may have been the other way around. They were a 1 guitar band. They were thinking about going to 2.
Yeah.
But I think it was 2, going from 2 to 1. And John was like, there's no fucking way. You can't you gotta have another guitar player. You gotta have the thickness on the fucking stage, dude. You gotta have someone that can play the fucking rhythms while the fucking leads are going. It just makes it so much more fucking brutal and much fucking better, more full. But just literally like fucking campaigning, dude, for a 2 guitar band. And I was just giving him this look, and he just looks at me. He's like, "What? What do you got to say? What do you got to say? Just fucking say it. What's your fucking problem?" I'm like, "I don't want to get into this with you right now." He's like, "No, really, dude,
sounds a little heated.
What's your fucking? It got there, but he's like, "No, really, dude, what do you got to fucking say?" I'm like, "I don't want to get in the way of your little fucking soapbox
tirade."
And he's like, "No, really, what do you got to fucking say?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Your favorite band on the fucking planet, Pantera, 1 guitar band, end." Of campaign.
Story.
Boom, you're done. Dude, he got so fucking pissed off, dude.
That's rad.
He was
that
so
is so
fucking
rad.
mad. I was like, dude, if you want
you
to
just literally cut his legs off, dude. By the way, your favorite band of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 guitar band.
Yeah, I feel like it did that a lot to him, but it was fun.
Hey, by the way, we're going to welcome Lee to the show here, dude. Lee, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. Just here.
You enjoying the party?
Say what?
You enjoying the party?
So far, yes.
It's nice.
A lot of food, friggin' full.
Yeah. By the way, I know I haven't introduced everybody so far, but you were just listening to Jason Smith. He used to be the guitar player for a band called Difficult Henry back in, what was it? You guys started in 2000 what?
I don't know when they started the actual band, Difficult Henry. I joined in 2002.
2002, and you guys moved down here in 2003?
The end of 2002. We moved here in 2003.
Yeah. I think I met you guys in 2004 or 2003. It might have been later 2003 after you guys moved down here.
Yeah, I think.
And you guys ended up calling it quits around, 2006?
Yeah, I think at the end of 2006.
Yeah. But they had a nice, good run here in San Diego. It was they definitely made a huge impact on the metal scene here in San Diego. And then we got Lee Burgos, who is the guitar player for a band called Theosis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And how you doing today, Lee? You
Good.
getting hammered?
Not yet. I think I ate way too much food.
I was saying we've been drinking that Firestone for a while.
Nah, I got way too much food in my belly.
That lupine
right now,
distortion.
So it's gonna be a while for I can catch a buzz.
Yeah.
But
Dude, that prime rib.
dude,
no. Justin,
I usually don't like prime rib either, but that was fucking
not
good.
Yeah,
like
we're
prime
actually
rib?
at our buddy Justin Smith. He's the brew guy that I go to. He's a regular on the show. The reason why I go to him is because he knows more about local breweries than just about anybody I know. And but we're at a party at his house, and we set up the equipment just to do a little podcast from the party to get everybody nice and hammered and get them on the mic.
yeah. I thought we were doing this way later. It would be way more common.
Well, me and Jason got into a conversation, and I had to get it recorded because it was at the time, it was a rather heated conversation. So I'm like, no, this needs to get recorded.
Right on.
So that's where it started, and I'm glad you came out because I've seen Mikeal Russo and Max Saccomano have both come out here, and they've literally run away. It's like, obviously, they're not drunk enough to get on the microphones.
They're like, we're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready. I'm always ready. You can literally bring this shit to my house like every day, and I would have something to say.
Well, duh. We know this.
Yeah. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Especially if you want to talk about music. I mean, it's, there's a lot of shit to say about it. So.
Well, definitely. And you've always had a lot of shit to say about music because, I mean, as far as I know, this man has an opinion about everything.
Hey, everyone has an opinion.
No.
Just
You
some
have
people are too pussy
a well-defined opinion about everything.
All those people that say, I don't have an opinion on that, or I don't know, they're pussies, dude. They have a legitimate opinion. They just
don't want to
They're
say
just
it.
too fucking scared to say it.
Say what?
That's all that fucking is.
Right on. Ah.
Talk about yourself. Talk about Theosis. Talk about whatever.
I'm gonna stare at Lee and make him awkward.
Make him. I really don't know what to say. Wish I knew what you guys were talking about earlier. Maybe I would have some 2 cents on it. But
okay, he was. Let me put this. Go ahead and grab the chair, man. Go ahead. So we were.
I was saying I felt that.
No. Let me preface this shit. Fuck off. This is my show.
He's got to put his opinion on it.
gotcha.
Yeah.
He's got to put his spin on it
Yeah,
because it's
no.
his
Of course,
show.
I want to put my spin on it because it's my fucking
It's
show.
his
No.
show.
You can sit down.
He's
Just
got to
fucking
spin
get-
it his way.
Just get directly.
Because we literally weren't arguing about anything.
No.
He made it an argument.
We made it an argument
I just
because
made a
you said
statement.
something that was fucking ridiculous. You said something
Whoa,
that was,
it was
fucking
ridiculous?
ridiculous.
Oh my God, dude.
Ridiculous.
What was it?
It was
All right.
ridiculous.
He said
Come the fuck on.
that Metallica was not thrash until they moved to San Francisco.
Aren't they from San Francisco?
No,
No,
they
they're
are
actually
from LA.
But freaking Lars and James are from the Bay Area.
No,
Right? No.
no. The only one that was from the Bay Area is Kirk.
And Cliff.
Well, and Cliff, and that's the reason why they moved up there is because Cliff didn't want to move to LA.
Like,
All right, but the
That
thing
makes
is, they
sense.
didn't move to LA until Cliff Burton joined the band. And the thing is, Cliff Burton, they did an entire fucking demo, which was No Life to Leather, with fucking Dave Mustaine and fucking what's his name, McGovern, or whatever the hell his
Ron
name was.
McGovney.
Ron
But-
McGovney. All right, they did an entire fucking album.
It's not an album. It's
Well,
an EP.
it's an EP.
It's like
whatever.
4 songs.
Okay, they did an entire fucking EP, right?
Which
of-
wasn't that thrashy. It
Are you
legit-
fucking kidding me?
I haven't heard it. So I have
No, I'm
idea.
not kidding.
whatever. I've listened
It's
to
shit
it.
like Motor Breath and the
It's just really fast.
technically
A lot
the
of it's
4
really fucking
Horsemen
fast.
because Dave Mustaine wrote that and then he
And the
did
thing is, and
Mechanics.
it's funny is that Dave Mustaine is actually singing on some of these songs.
Yeah.
Damn.
It
Yeah.
sucks. It's not that great.
Yeah.
No, it's
Like,
not that great.
no.
Don't get me wrong, it's not that great. But again, as far as speed metal goes, which is what thrash used to be called, it is definitely speed metal. And he's sitting there saying that it's just normal metal compared to fucking what they became. And that's bullshit because it started out as speed metal and it stayed speed metal even when they moved to fucking San Francisco.
Okay,
I don't give
so-
a shit how many dicks they took in the ass.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah, wow, bro.
Where did that come from, Mr. fucking homophobe? Anyways, now you're just
Friggin'
he just
Becky.
completely. Did you see what he did there? He changed the actual genre. So technically, what I said was true because they were speed metal before they went to the Bay, and then they went to the Bay and they became thrash. Like, come on, dude.
Speed metal and thrash metal are the same thing. They're
Then
the
why are
same
you-
thing. They just changed what they called it.
Duh. That's what I said before, and I didn't say they weren't thrash at all. I just said they weren't that thrashy until they went to the Bay Area. But I'm telling you right now, and I'll tell anybody right now, dude, Kill 'Em All is not as thrashy as any other fucking thrash album out, dude. Bottom fucking line. I don't give a fuck who you are. Dude, that shit is not that fucking thrashy, dude. That shit
Not
just...
like Ride the Lightning. which
No,
is crazy.
dude, like Ride the Lightning, Master Puppets, dude. Fucking
Fucking
Rain and
awesome.
Blood, fucking Hell Awaits, dude. You fucking throw in Among the Living by fucking Anthrax. You throw in fucking Pleasures of the Flesh by Exodus, dude. That shit is fucking thrash, dude. Right? Testament albums,
Oh,
thrash. But I
dude.
mean, they came later,
Yeah,
right?
but dude.
So they came later. But Exodus was there. And they were playing shows with Exodus. Dude, Steve Souza has been around for fucking ever. The dude's old as fuck. Okay, Chuck Billy's old as fuck too.
Dude,
I
Chuck
think.
Billy's the fucking man.
If
though.
I remember right, he's old, he's pretty old too. He's been around for quite a while, even before Testament. But the thing is, like, they were all playing up and down the fucking coast, man. Like, I mean, they were doing their fucking LA thing, and then fucking dude, like, Tom Hunting, the fucking drummer from fucking Exodus, is like the dude that basically invented that fucking like that standard thrash fucking
Was that Gallop?
beat. Yeah, like I mean I'm sure he didn't invent it because it's a fucking beat, but he's the first dude that was really fucking doing that sort of thing. And Exodus was a band long before they fucking got their first album recorded or their first deal. You know, where the fuck you think they got Kirk from, dude? He came from the band Exodus, dude. Like, those guys all knew each other. They all played around, dude. And I'm just saying, like, fucking, dude, yeah, Metallica may have been older, and so maybe that's why their shit wasn't. Of course, it's not as thrashy. They were still inventing the shit.
Yeah.
Like, listen to the first Slayer albums, dude. I'm a huge Slayer fan, dude, but the first fucking 2 albums suck balls, dude. I can't stand it. Haunting the Chapel, Show No Mercy, shit like that. Like, that shit sucks, dude. There's like maybe 3 or 4 gems out of both those albums, right? And it's because they were inventing this, what they were going to become.
It's like the first Cannibal album, you know, Even Back to Life.
Oh, it's totally different.
Well,
He's not even screaming half as
No,
low
it's
as he
like
used to.
borderline a thrash album.
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
crossover death metal. But
Yeah.
then, you know, once Tomb of the Mutilated and the Bleeding came out, that's when they perfected their.
Tomb of the Mutilated is where he really went low.
Yeah, but like
That was
but
when
you
he
hear
went
the
with-
bleed. No, you hear the Bleeding, and it's like groovy as. It's got that.
Oh, the Bleeding was when they really hit. To me, that's their masterpiece.
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
That was when they hit their stride. Like, they really knew what they wanted to do at that point. You know what I mean?
All right, we're back with the commentary section of Round 5, the SD Brewzik podcast. I'm sitting here with Justin Smith.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, this next section is we're going to be talking to Reuben Valenzuela, Spencer Blair, and also Makis.
Magus Attackers.
Yes, Makis.
All fellow local musicians here in San Diego, all talented individuals and well versed in all things music and gibberish.
Gibberish, yes, lots of gibberish. So I guess on this next one, Spencer was a little curious about the beginnings of Discord, or at least where Reuben falls into it, because I guess he'd never met Reuben before.
Oh yeah, that was funny. That was the first time they met at my party.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
interesting. I just assumed since they're both, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Iconic in the San Diego metal scene, that they would have met.
You know, you'd think so, because especially with as many shows as Discord played with Medius. You know, because Spencer
Even with Reuben in the band.
even with Reuben in the band, yeah. No, especially with Reuben in the band, because I don't even think Medius was around during the beginnings. Yeah, Medius. I don't think Medius was around during the beginnings of Discord. Discord 1.0 was not.
Oh.
I don't think Medius was around. But Discord 2.0, they were definitely around.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
played shows with them.
Yeah, and Reuben actually authored the little jangle for this podcast, which
He
was
did.
mentioned.
He did. The opening music that you hear every time that you hear the SD Brewzik podcast, that is Reuben Valenzuela playing guitar, and he wrote the whole thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he did the drums too. I think I used Easy Drummer, which is the shit. Easy Drummer 2 is awesome. Really cool drum program.
So in this one, I'm actually talking about, like I said, Spencer is kind of curious about the beginnings of where Discord with Reuben in it, where that started and all that. And a lot of that comes down to me trying to save my band because it was falling apart around me.
Yep.
And one of the things was my drummer, Mikey Pannone, was going to leave, and he was going to join your band.
No, not really. Well, if we were a little bit more aggressive, if we weren't friends, I think we could have convinced him to jump on board.
It's possible, yeah.
If
It's
we weren't
possible.
friends,
It's
but
possible.
it was a tricky, sticky situation. You know, as a musician in town, and you meet a lot of friends, right? And you grow to even collaborate sometimes.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it had to do with my begging. I was literally on my
Yeah.
knees begging Mikey not to
yeah,
leave.
he was ready to lube him up.
Because it was
Grease him
Well, it
down.
was one of those things where it's like, first of all, Mikey is very fiercely loyal.
And fiercely talented.
And very
by the
fiercely
way.
talented,
A coveted drummer.
Yeah,
And especially at the time.
yeah. And so it's like with with me walking in there and saying, please, 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 please,
Don't leave me.
don't leave me.
I will slice my wrists if you leave.
But yeah, it was just, it was one of those things where, he kind of saw the situation for what it was and was like, look, I don't see how we can continue without,
Yep.
keyboardist, lead guitarist, and
Lost
bass
all,
player.
yeah, 3 members of the band, which Brett talks about ad nauseum in this next section.
Ad nauseum.
However, he forgets to mention how Reuben came into his possession, if you will.
Well, no, like I said, I just mentioned the parts that Reuben was involved in.
Yeah.
Okay, because I said it, and I was like, look, he called me literally the next day.
Right.
After everything exploded, and I had to sit down with Mikey and Jay and explain the situation. The next day, I get a call from Reuben.
So
now, what led up to that conversation, I will let you take.
So behind the scenes here, like prior to us actually auditioning Mikey,
This is Mother Mae I.
Mother Mae I, yeah. And Brett had called me and told me what happened in tears. I mean, maybe. I was reading between the lines.
There's internal tears going on.
Definitely, I could sense his illness. And I, in turn, had told the guys in the band, and Mikeal immediately suggested, well, what about Reuben? Because he, like a lot of other people, thought that Reuben was a little bit too good for the band that he was in. So,
and
no disrespect to those guys.
Well, no disrespect to
6 Foot
Death Trap. But the thing is, again, we saw Mikey the same way when he was in Serrated.
Right.
He was the exact same thing.
Just,
he was a diamond in the rough.
Stood out, a shining gem in a pile of rubble.
Pretty much.
What do you want to say?
It's just to be real here, dude. It's like
Yeah, I mean, at any rate, so that next day, Mikeal hit Reuben up. In fact, this was when I first got to know Reuben. We were playing with them up in Mammoth at it was some ski resort bar. It was a shithole, but they
I
paid
remember
us.
that show because
They paid us.
I remember when you guys went out there.
Yeah, it was like a 6-hour drive. We just did the one show. It was actually really fun. They paid us like $300, and we got a ride. Mikeal and I got a ride back with Reuben and Rock. Reuben had his Sprinter, big ass van he used to carry art. Well, I think he probably still has it. It was his company van. His stepmom let him borrow, and we rode back, and that's how we started chatting it up. That's how we became friends. And Reuben and I are really good friends to this day. So, and that was over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But the very next day that Brett almost loses his life.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the one thing I was like the band I was most proud of, the band I was like fully in love with and loved everything we did, literally disintegrated under my feet.
Mm-hmm. But it was resurrected.
Yep.
And version 2.0 is in a lot of ways different, a lot of ways better, a lot of ways more modern. But personally, I like 1.0 a little bit better. I thought it was just more, I don't want to say well-rounded. It was more progressive in the fact that I like progressive music.
It was definitely more eclectic.
Eclectic,
It was
that's
very
the right
eclectic.
word.
It was very eclectic, and it had this kind of like almost, I want to say, God, how do I put this? Kind of Slipknot-y before Slipknot was Slipknot. You know what I mean? Because Slipknot was coming out around the same time, but we weren't really listeners of Slipknot because they weren't a really big band back then.
Only because I think you guys had a little bit of the samples in there, so a little bit of electronica mixed in.
True.
Because of Aaron's skills, and you did have aggression, but I never really compared you to Slipknot, but I could see why you would. Mm-hmm. You had a lot of lyrically, you were a lyrically driven band. You were politically motivated.
Yeah,
a lot of your lyrics were, centered on anti-religious sentiments and political unrest and those sort of themes.
True, and it was also, I guess I don't know if I would necessarily say that it was anti-religious, although we did have a song called Atheist Lullaby.
Yeah, no, there's no sugarcoating it. There's no sugarcoating. Yeah, I know you want to keep it a little more neutral on the show, but
it was more of a just anti-church thing. I don't know if it was definitely anti-religion.
All right, anti-dogmatic. If you want to get
very
specific.
very true.
Because that's more along my lines of thought as well.
So, but now, from what I understand, Mikey did try out for you guys, though, right?
Yeah, he came out and jammed. I don't know if it was once or twice, but it was definitely he had the songs probably 90%. It was good. And we all knew Mikey already, but it just turned out that with the injection of the Reuben cake, the Reuben sauce into the mix, that he was inspired to stay on board, which was good. And we were all, on one hand, we were a little disappointed, but on the other hand, we were happy for you because, like I said, from beginning of my diatribe here, is a sticky situation. Didn't want to steal somebody from a friend. At the same time, we're trying to stay alive ourselves. And ultimately, we didn't find a drummer. So, I don't know. It's kind of a sacrificial lamb in the terms of, from a business perspective, if I had to do it again, if I really thought it was my livelihood, like I needed to make money making music, if I didn't have other options, I would have been more aggressive about it. But I always felt like I had other avenues to pursue to make money. So that's why music really wasn't a make it or break it kind of scenario for me, which in turn is why I'm here, not making music, not touring the country, not in that atmosphere, that scene anymore. So
No, I understand.
just keeping it real, Ninja.
Yeah. But I will tell you this, though. It's like with as many bands as Mikey is in now, it's like, honestly, I think we could have worked something out to where it could have done double duty.
Oh yeah, and we talked about that. We bounced that idea around, but ultimately, the scene in general, music in general, musicians in general aren't the most responsible fellas and gals that you know.
Well, we were a lot younger back then, man.
We were younger, but still, the same thing is like, if anything, that adds to why you can do it and juggle multiple projects. Is younger, less responsibility, but as we grow older, we have more other things that pull us away from music. Life pulls us away from passions and more in line with responsible endeavors, right?
No, I feel you.
Financial responsibility and whatever, but being a young professional, would-be professional musician, there's not a lot, at least at that time, in the scene. There weren't a lot of fellas that can do that and really stay professional on all fronts.
That's true.
We auditioned this drummer before Mikey, who was really the guy for the job. This guy came from Croatia, who was a very seasoned dude. I mean, played with orchestras, played prog rock, and we're talking phenomenal dude, probably like 5'3". He ripped it. He played 9 instruments.
Holy crap.
Including the French horn.
Holy crap.
And his drum skills were just unreal. Like, he came in and started warming up, one limb at a time. Every limb was playing a different subdivision. And so he started with, like, whole notes on his foot, like with the kick drum. Then he started playing quarter note triplets with the snare or the hi-hat, and then his other hand came in, was doing tom work that was 8th notes, and he literally had like 4 different subdivisions going on each limb, and it was just started building a groove and just warming up, but keeping everything independent and consistent. I didn't even have to hear him play the songs. I knew what he was doing, and I heard this, and I'm like, oh shit, we just found our drummer.
Yeah.
And the reason why he didn't join the band is not because we didn't want him, is because we weren't professional enough. We didn't have cash flow. You know what I'm saying? We just got off the ground when Higgins left. Or Higgins.
I remember Higgins.
Fucking Higgins. Fuck you, Higgins.
Fuck you, Higgins.
So we didn't really have a lot of financial momentum. We had fan momentum, musical momentum. We worked out a lot of personal shit.
Well, I mean, back in the day, dude, we're talking like 2005, 2006, right? Back in the day, there is not a single band, because you guys had Travis Neal as your lead singer, who is now, he's been in the Bloodline, he's been in, Divine Heresy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys toured the world. You had, Mikeal Russo in your band.
Who's on the podcast later.
Who's on the podcast later, yeah. Who's a phenomenal guitarist and songwriter.
Yeah, just awesome dude.
And, you guys, there was not many bands in this city that could touch you. As far as Mother Mae goes, yeah, dude, there are people that still talk about you guys to this day.
Which is kind of funny, but, because it was so short-lived. At least the band existed a while before I joined the band, but I think there was like not a 1.0, 2.0 thing where you swapped out a lot of members, but I think a lot of people appreciated the second guitar add to the mix and that dynamic that brings as a full metal.
Oh no, you
band.
guys definitely brought it.
You
man.
know?
You guys definitely brought it with you on stage. Your dynamic with Mikeal, and just Travis trying to find his place in the middle of all that.
Well, and he did a good job.
He
That's
did a
the
very
thing.
good. He did a very good job. He did a very good
because
job. But you guys
Mikeal-
had solid songs.
Yeah, the songs
solid
are really
fucking
good.
songs, dude. I mean, there's people, like I said, I still talk to this day, that every once in a while they'll put your shit on and just let it play.
Yeah, this
You
was
know?
a quick album, 5 songs, but definitely potent. I would
Rememberable.
say.
Very
Yeah, memorable,
memorable.
potent,
Yeah.
good melodies, good songwriting, and I wish I could own it. I contributed probably a half a minute to that album. Honestly, one of the instrumentals I found samples and added my 2 cents, and it was cool, but I didn't really have much to do with it other than performing it. But when I came in the band, they were in the middle of recording it, so I wasn't even in the band yet when they were recording the album. I was just auditioning still, and I think I auditioned for like 2 months.
Really?
I was at the point where I was kind of fed up. I was like, all right, well, if you're not gonna, I'm not gonna be part of the band. I'm kind of done. I was right there because, I wasn't most skilled guitar player, but I was committed. And I had the
Well, that's the one thing I can say.
young spunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
don't know.
have the world, literally the world equivalent of determination. It's like you have more determination than probably anybody I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. Thanks.
Probably anybody I know, dude. It's like if you see something you want, you see something you think you can do, you'll get it. You'll kill or die or whatever to get it done.
Got you. Give me your money.
Yes.
I'm not kidding around.
So
I am
no,
determined.
seriously, man.
No,
It's like
thanks, man. I
you got
appreciate
some
that.
serious determination,
I
bro.
appreciate that.
And honestly, I think that's what kept you in that band, and that's what probably what kept the band together for a long time.
It was, honestly, because there were a lot of things going on with the band, even prior to Paul's exodus. Jeff almost got fired, and honestly, I look at that moment where I just joined the band. This was after I joined, and Jeff was the most responsible dude around. He was kind of a bum, No offense, Jeff, if you ever do listen to this. I mean,
Hey, man, everybody's had that person in the band.
but he was.
I've had a few.
He was really. He added a lot, but financially, he was dead weight. Responsibilities, he was dead weight, but he added graphic design experience and stage. He had really cool, unique stage presence, and he was a good musician. I mean, really good musician and young. But at any rate, the band had voted to fire him. Everybody except for me. I was like the last dude, and I just got in the band, and I couldn't make the split decision to let somebody go who was obviously instrumental in bringing me on board. So I couldn't say, yeah, let's fire his ass. Hindsight again, looking back, I don't know. I felt like I at least owed him a save or a pass, right? And there you have it. He stayed in the band. It was up and down, and then there were, it was just so much drama with the band. Finding my place. So it was tough. It was really, and it did take a lot of determination. I don't think initially my skills were good enough to be in that band. I had to do a lot of work on stage presence, chops building,
Hair growth.
hair growth. Yeah, definitely deficient in that department.
Dun 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 dun.
Not unlike today.
I still remember every single time he'd be on stage, dude. I'd walk up to you and I'd act like I was sitting at a fucking piano going dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that was funny. Fuck you,
You
Brett.
had the Beethoven.
All right. Well, enough of this nostalgia, reminiscent. We got a clip to listen to. We also got a beer to talk about. We'll keep it brief. The beer that Brett and I are sipping on now for this second, I don't know what you want to call these sub rounds.
Well, just the commentary
Yeah,
on the
second clip.
on the round.
We got a Piper Down, which we talked about. Well, you wouldn't have heard it yet. We talked about it in round 8, which we just recorded last week or the week before. One of the Scottish dudes who was on our show likes Piper Down. Go figure, right?
Go figure.
It is a Scottish style ale or a wee heavy,
wee
if you know
heavy.
beer, and it is
A wee heavy.
wee heavy. Yeah, and it's very good. It's Ballast Point, local brewery here in town.
They honestly have not done any wrong in my eyes, except for the grapefruit sculpin. I'm not a big
Oh,
fan.
really? Well,
Not
see,
a
I
big fan.
like that one. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of their Dorado, watermelon Dorado.
The watermelon Dorado is really good. By the way, speaking of beers I'm not a fan of, I just had, what was it, New Belgium's Heavy Melon.
Heavy melon.
Heavy melon.
Is it any
it's
good?
a watermelon. It's horrible.
Oh, okay.
It is utterly
Yeah.
horrible.
I don't even like their new branding approach. Honestly, it makes them look more mass-produced, which in turn is, but on one hand, it is kind of the goal of marketing and branding your product, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, if you start it off as with that culture, that independent culture, niche. I don't know. You want to call it hipster, a little hipster-esque, because craft beer, in a sense, is kind of
It's an
hipster.
evil word.
Yeah, I know. I don't mean to throw it out there like pejoratively, but it is really like they kind of missed the mark, in my opinion, with their new branding because it turns me off.
Got it.
Even though I've always been a New Belgium fan. So it doesn't surprise me when you say it kind of sucks. Because
Oh, no, it's horrible,
I think
dude.
they've shifted gears in the wrong direction.
I was down at Winston's in OB, and I was there for the Fake No More, which is Frank Torres's
He's doing a Faith No More cover
Fake
band?
No More cover band with Kelly Strange.
How is it?
Yeah, it's really good. They're really good.
I haven't seen
No,
Kelly in years.
Now, here's the thing, though. I mean, because Rice is in it, and so is I think his name is Matt. He's a guitarist from 1001.
Oh, I know Matt Wanamaker.
Yeah, Matt Wanamaker. And they have Joe Pine on drums.
Oh, shit, dude.
Oh, yeah, so it's like a super group.
Yeah,
it's like
for
a super
sure.
group.
I mean, the talent is there
yeah.
to do Faith No More,
Yeah,
for sure.
and honestly, they kick ass at it. It's really good.
Fake No More, huh?
Fake No More.
I
It's,
like it.
If they ever play again, which I hope they do. If you're listening to this, Frank, you better be fucking playing that show again. But I also want to hear something off of another album because they did 2 albums. They did stuff off The Real Thing and also stuff off of Angel Dust. Oh, yeah. And I'm like, dude, where is Album of the Year? Where is King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime?
Some of the newer stuff.
Come on, let's do something that's a little bit later on that gets a little weird. It gets a little weird.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like, let's do
How about,
that.
Yeah, the newest album is fucking awesome, dude. It's brilliant.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Dude.
fuck yeah.
What's it called? I don't even fucking remember, but it's good. I know that.
You're going to, dude, really?
Not Hero.
You're killing me.
Superhero. Was it Superhero? That's the song I really
That's
like.
the song.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, so you can't even remember. You're like the biggest
horrible,
fucking
I am a
fanboy
horrible
around.
fucking Faith No
You
More
are
fan
fucking
right now.
sad. Oh my God.
I am so blanking right now. Dude,
he's getting Mike shy.
I am getting. Oh, dude, this is.
Hold on a
This
second.
is
Well,
sucking me right
we'll,
now.
we'll
dude.
get you on the,
All right,
flip side.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Back to this, the conversation.
Yeah, so
Reuben
we're gonna be talking.
Valenzuela.
So we're gonna be talking to Reuben Valenzuela. We're gonna be talking to I think it's Spencer Blair, and we're also gonna have Makis on there.
Makis
And
Tax.
they're just gonna talk about. I mean, obviously, they're gonna be talking about the beginnings of Discord.
Little history lesson.
A little history lesson on Discord 2.0. And we're also going to be
the
talking
creative
about
juju.
the creative juju, basically how songs get written.
Yep.
Or at least in these people's lives, how songs
Yeah,
get written.
and everybody's approach is unique, but there's probably a lot of common thread there. So
Yeah, and
listen up.
I also enjoyed this because we talked about how the 2 stories of how Discord and Mother May I, how their 2 stories were intertwined. It's kind of cool.
Well, yeah. Well,
I
we
mean,
gave you the Mother May I back end, but yeah, I
Yeah.
think you talked about Discord 2.0. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was Brett's love child.
And by the way, on this podcast, we are going to be playing some Mother May I, and we're also going to be playing some
yeah.
Discord.
You'll hear
So
some tunes.
You'll hear some tunes.
Of course, you probably already heard a couple.
Yeah. So here you go.
Broken words of disrespect and dissipate the anger and frustration. Decimate a steam of sound. Suffer for as long as you can. Lies of
sitting here with Reuben Valenzuela. By the way, Reuben, I want to say thank you because you actually wrote the theme song for the SD Brewzik podcast.
That's awesome.
And no, he did a fucking amazing job. You haven't listened to it yet, have you?
Well, I heard what was on the preview that's on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, the preview on YouTube is just like a repeat of like just the basic riff. But he did this whole thing where there's like a fucking long ass solo involved.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
Fucking sick, dude. It's super sick.
Thanks, man.
Wait,
No, dude. Really awesome, Reuben. Well done. Good job.
if I can ask, I just met you like tonight, but like I've heard your name so many times. Like, what band are you from locally? Because like,
You've heard my name a couple times?
yeah,
Yeah, I got a reputation here in San Diego. No,
it's been good. I mean, nothing but good.
I've actually
of
been in
course, but,
about
like,
7 or 8 bands here in San Diego over the course
no
of
shit.
15 years. But me and Brett go way back. He's my brother. He's my homie. And when he had mentioned that me and Justin and him went out to sushi one night, we were talking about possibly making some music for it. So I asked Justin about 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, did Brett ever get some music for that? And Justin said that he'd been too busy or something like. So I just got inspired, and I actually was. I just kind of jotted down some very accessible music.
Yeah,
You know, I couldn't-
I love the
descended from
fact-
the mount with carved tablets.
You know, I love the fact that you
Musical
actually
notation.
used the show Overhaulin' as an influence.
Yeah.
Because me and my son used to watch that show together all the damn time, dude. I
Giant
fucking
fan,
love that
man.
Show. Yeah,
Giant
huge fan.
And that was kind of
First is the man, dude.
the guy's a master. The guy is a man. He's like the Steve Vai of car.
Were you guys ever in a band together?
Yes, we
Oh
were.
yeah, no. Reuben and I go back because Reuben actually, when I first met Reuben, he was in a band called 6 Foot Death Trap, and he was a fucking extraordinary guitarist. And I had no hope of ever playing with such a fucking phenomenal talent. The guy was fucking amazing.
No, stop it.
No. Shut the fuck up. All right. I can say this because I'm looking back and hindsight is 2020. And guess what?
Yeah,
You
just
were
a
a
guy.
phenomenal fucking talent.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So anyway, so I'm okay. I go through the biggest meltdown of any band can possibly go through. My guitarist, my bass player, and my keyboardist all leave on the same day.
Ooh, that's rough.
All right?
That's rough.
All that's left is the lead singer, me, my drummer, Mikey Pannone,
Oh, and who's a
and
monster?
a
He's
guitar,
monster.
yeah, and my guitar player, Jay Nadow. Okay? Now, I'm like, okay, I've got to try and hold this shit together somehow. How do I do that? So Mikey calls me up about 3 days later after fucking everybody leaves. And he calls me up and he's all, Brett, Mother Mae I is looking for a drummer, and I'm really thinking about getting
Oh
into it."
shit.
And I'm like, holy crap.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
about to
that's right.
lose
He's looking
Mikey
for a drummer
Pannone.
first.
Yeah.
We're about to lose Mikey Pannone, one of the greatest fucking drummers I've ever dealt with, right? And I'm like, okay, well, this has got to, I got to fucking put a stop to this, right? So I said, okay, dude, meet me down at the studio, and I fucking hit up Jay, and I said, Jay, we're meeting down at the studio, fucking be there right now.
And wait, this is Discord?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was Discord.
Yeah.
So this was Discord 1.0. This was what everybody refers to as Discord 1.0. This is the original Discord. And this was with Dan Lobert was the guitar player, Darren Ireland was the bass player, and Aaron Howe was our keyboardist. Okay, all three of them left on the same day.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I hit up Mikey and I hit up Jay, and we all met at the studio, and I said, Jay, we need to keep Mikey here. So we have to do whatever the fuck we have to do to keep Mikey here.
Yeah, lie to him, lube him up.
Whatever
blow
we
him,
got to do.
what
Whatever
you
we got to do.
Yeah.
So
Turn the check
I looked at Mikey when we sat in the studio, and I said, Mikey, I will get this thing going, dude. Please do not leave. We will get it going. The next day, I get a call from Reuben,
Oh, okay.
and he's thinking about jumping ship with 6 Foot Death Trap.
Oh.
Now, he didn't say that at the beginning. He just wanted to come and jam. He's all, hey, what do you guys think about, maybe getting together and jamming for a little bit? I'm like, dude, awesome. So he came down. We jammed for like 2 months. Literally 2 months of just jamming, writing together. Fucking, he never said he was part of the band.
We just started writing right away.
Yeah, we just started writing right away. And fucking, I mean, the minute he sat down with Mikey and the minute he sat down with Jay, it was on. It was fucking on.
That's awesome, man.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough to come in sometimes. It's like, you know, after the fact, or really at any juncture, but especially after the fact, and come in and be like, you know, to fill not just a gap, but like to fill a role that
Especially
hasn't
with
yet
like
been fulfilled.
Dan Lobert made a name for himself here in San Diego. I mean, because he really was a technician. He wasn't an artist, but he was a fucking technician. When
Well,
it
that's
came
an
down to
important
when it came down to fucking playing guitar, that guy was fucking on point.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew what the fuck he was doing. So he definitely created a pretty big gap to fill. And the thing is that Reuben would have filled that gap by himself easily because he's that big of a talent.
And every musician.
But we
knows
also
it's a-
had
it's just-
Jay
it's a
to help you out with that.
Of course, yeah. And it's just a different beast.
Yeah.
We all know that. It's
True,
like when you
true.
come into it's like being married to 4 or 5 people.
Yeah,
come into it.
that you can't
Yeah,
fuck.
the most
I mean,
incestuous
that's
marriage
kind of-
ever.
Yeah.
And
No,
and
that's
I-
exactly what I've always equated a band being to. Yeah, where it's
You
like
know,
you're in a relationship with 4
I had
people
the
you can't have sex
utmost
with.
respect for all the 6-foot guys. I just wasn't feeling it very creatively. Rock kind of drove the ship for that one for a long time. He wrote most of the songs. And so when I started jabbing with these guys, I knew that I was like, I didn't want to commit to anything until I knew that I was 110% behind it. And that for me, that took almost 2 months of
Yeah.
jamming and writing
Oh, yeah.
before I said, hey, I'm
And
in.
here, and let me tell
That's
you
just
something.
the way it is with me. That's how I roll.
Let me tell you something though, Reuben. This is how amazing what we wrote, and how much I believed in what we wrote. It was because because I invited Darren to come back, and I said, Darren, I need you to come down to the studio and just listen to what we're playing. He listened to literally half a song, and he said, I'm back.
Ah, that's awesome. All right, well, yeah. I mean, you know, this is insight into the, you know, the host's background with all this stuff. So, how long were you with Discord once you started?
Boy, Brett would know better than I was. I'm not good with numbers.
You were with us for
From start
I
to
can't remember
finish?
anything from like
2006.
last
It
week.
was early 2006 to late 2008.
Okay.
So,
That's a decent amount
over
of time.
2 years.
Yeah, 2
Little
years.
over 2 years.
Over 2 years. That's significant.
And honestly, the only recordings that we have, I mean,
Is that about the time that I met you?
yeah, no, I mean,
So I remember
actually-
meeting you at the
you met
end
me-
of
you met me
Discord.
at the very end of 1.0.
Okay.
At the very end of 1.0.
I remember because you guys had like specific shirts that you wore.
Well, that was the uniform. That was 2.0. Yeah, that was 2.0.
that was definitely at the outset of when I met you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well, no, because I actually met you before that. We didn't play shows together.
Oh, right.
Okay. But again, this was one of those things where it was like, I mean, we had several encounters, I want to say, that weren't exactly like music oriented. It was more like, okay, we're at the same party. or
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
thing.
We're just like, hey, we're hanging out and bullshitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Once Discord got Reuben, and we had Jay already, because Jay was supposed to be the 5th member or 6th member of Discord on Discord 1.0. Because we had 5 members because we had a keyboard player. All right, that was Aaron Howe. Well, when Reuben came aboard, we didn't have that keyboard player anymore. Now, I honestly think that if we had the keyboard player, a lot of things would have been different. But mainly because we had this kind of style to our music where it involved a lot of like orchestration as well as the metal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I mean, Reuben will be able to talk about that more than I would as far as like the writing style and what we did. But I will say this, that the one recording that I am the most proud of is Evolutionary. And that is a Discord recording. That's the Discord EP that we released. I am the most proud of that recording. And I've recorded full-length albums. And that is the most proud I've ever been of any recording.
Now, what part? Where were you in the part of this scene?
I was in a band called Medius, and
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, man. My
No, he
memory-
was
No,
the lead,
no,
he was
it's
the lead
fine.
singer of a
It's
band called
fine.
Medius.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in a band called
all right.
Medius. Yeah,
We,
yeah.
we played with you guys many times.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
My
No,
memory
no,
is
it's,
just
dude.
shit.
I was drinking so heavily then, and
Can
still
I,
somewhat.
Ruben, can I say
love
something?
you guys,
He had
man.
about 60
thanks,
more
man.
pounds on him, and he had long hair.
Yes, yeah. If that,
That's what
if
it
that
is.
helps, if that helps drape me in the flesh of like 4 slaughtered villagers, and you have what was essentially my atomic mass.
Once the long hair
That-
goes, it's like,
yeah,
who are
yeah,
you?
let-
Who are you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
no,
like,
that
hey,
was-
dude, Ruben, if you ever cut your hair, we'd be like, who the fuck
yeah.
is that guy?
Yeah, no, that was.
You
that-
guys
I
were
was,
definitely
yeah.
one of you guys. I mean, we played a. I mean,
We
you were
were
definitely
nasty.
one of
We were
our
nasty.
our co-headlining
Well,
North
especially
County
if
bands.
we ever
like,
played
every time
up
we
in
played
like
the Turtle,
Jumping Turtle,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
always,
yeah.
we
Medius
played with
was
these guys
always
a lot.
Yeah, no, that's
Much
how I got
respect,
to know.
man.
That and
Oh, and
Etched in Red.
likewise, man. Likewise.
These guys in Etched in Red, we played with them a
Yes,
lot.
yes,
yeah.
yes. Those were fun times. And kind of what I want to pick your guys' brains about, like just in general, is now I'm doing a new project. I mean, we're all kind of doing everyone's doing
Moose
doing
cock.
I'd be interested
Oh
in
my
your
God,
project.
they're not happy with that. Oh my God, there it is.
All right, I'm
There it
gonna
is.
give the mic over to Macus. Macus, come on over.
That could be dangerous. That could be dangerous.
I'd like to hear about your new project.
No, yeah. Well, so all right. So now, Macus, my lifelong good friend, brother.
Cheers
buddy.
to you, man.
And we've played a lot of shows together in other bands and everything. And now we're actually working on some music together.
Oh, you guys are collaborating?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. We're working on some stuff. It's Macus, myself, and David, who was. Did you play on the Dime tribute song that we did with David, or were you on another song? Yeah, that was the one you did. Like Psycho Holiday. Was it Psycho Holiday?
I was in a band with David.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. So we did There was a Dime Bag tribute show last December, where we with a bunch of local bands like kind of mixed together in a blender of talent, I suppose. And so you ended up with whoever you ended up with, and we
of metal.
yeah, a cauldron of metal. Yeah. So we did a Dime Bag tribute show, and I think I did Psycho Holiday, and this dude
got some
David
good
played
stuff
bass,
on
and he was
this.
a monster. The dude was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he just nails it.
Yo, my God, like, yeah, an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And so then I've obviously known Macus for years and years and years through different bands and everything else. And so we've talked about it here and there. And then after the Dime Bag tribute show, we got David on board, and everyone just like kind of came together, and we started doing some stuff and jamming out some songs, and pretty excited about it. But outside of all of that, I kind of wanted to get into, especially like having you guys both, both of you guys here, with your background in Discord and everything, and what you guys are doing now, kind of like just the process of how do you like get through, how do you push through like an impedance? You know what I mean? Like a creative threshold. Like when there's a new song coming up. First of all, I mean, usually like the music comes first. I mean, in my experience at least, the music comes first, then you come up with the vocals and the lyrics and everything, unless you have a strong vocal idea beforehand. But anyway, so when it came to your guys' experiences writing together and even, post Discord, where do you guys start and where do you guys go when it comes to actually crafting, music?
Well, if Brett would allow me to answer this one.
I think he was vehemently imploring you to answer this question.
You know what?
Brett allows it.
I'm an old man now. I'm in my 40s, and from the very beginning, since I've been listening to metal, that I've noticed that certain metal bands are riff oriented.
Okay.
Say per se, Dimebag,
Right.
Pantera. A lot of their riffs and their songwriting structure is based on riffs, and some of my favorite bands are those riff bands, Lamb of God. You could sit here and name a dozen of them. Yeah. And then there's other bands who base them around structure, where actual singers are actually writing the band based on chord structures. One of my favorite bands called Sonata Arctica do not even use riffs. They're all based on chord and piano structures.
And what are they called again
So,
one more time?
Sonata Arctica.
Sonata Arctica.
Sonata Arctica, they're amazing.
But
In the middle of the podcast, I'm gonna make a quick note.
everybody has a different way of writing songs, of course. But
Always record.
but
Saved, yes. Oh,
I was fortunate with Discord, which it was one of those rare occasions where every single member of the band was contributing to the songwriting process.
really?
Which for me that was rare.
From the genesis of the song.
Yeah.
Were you guys all in the same room together, like in a live environment?
like
That-
our
I love
rehearsal.
that. I love that.
That's
So-
that's where our songwriting took place.
So your guys' songwriting was basically everybody shows up to practice that day or to jam that day, and then like what the guitarist shows up. It's like, hey, I've got a riff. You guys want?
It would usually stem from a guitar player,
It
but
usually-
sometimes
yeah,
it
man,
stems
everything
from a
starts
bass line, or
Okay.
sometimes it would. Actually, I've been inspired from just drum patterns.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like a drum pattern starts, and I'm like, hey,
I'm going to interject in here because I'm going to say one thing just to fucking toot Mikey Pinone's horn.
that
Mikey-
talented motherfucker.
Oh yeah, Mikey Pinone has on occasion where, and Reuben can attest to this, where I will literally come up with cadences and melody lines with just me and him.
So just
as
vocals and drums.
vocals
That's
and
what
a
you're
drummer.
saying. Vocals and percussion.
Straight up.
That's
melody
awesome.
melody lines.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And that has structured some of our songs just
Interesting.
from coming up with
Interesting.
melody lines with a drummer and a vocalist.
Yep.
And that, dude, you will never find that.
No, yeah, that's very rare.
Mikey
Mikey, dude, he's a freak. Fuck that guy, man. He's a freak. He's a freak.
You know what?
Okay, fuck
I've
him.
I've never played.
He's too good. Fuck him.
Never
Fuck
played
him.
with a more
Mikey.
creative drummer
Brett's
than
tooting
Mikey.
your horn so hard he needs knee pads.
Yeah, but
Mikey,
but
we love you.
But warranted. Yeah.
Where
no,
are you?
Fuck that guy. He's too good. Let's
deserved.
just move on.
Listen,
100% deserved.
So-
Jay, my boy Jay, would show up to practice early just so he could play with Mikey by himself.
Yeah.
I would come into the room sometimes and I would strap on my guitar, tune him up, lube him up, get him ready, get all my settings dialed, and I would just sit there and listen to them play for about an hour, where they were just improvising and jamming out riffs and just working. I mean, he's that
Like
good.
just drum and bass?
Just guitar.
Drum and guitar.
Yeah, Mikey and him would just go off, like just go on roads, man, just like straight up ad-libbing, improv off the cuff.
Nice.
And from some of those sessions, a lot of those riffs, gave birth to some of the songs. So, but to recap, all I can say is that from my experience is that I've been fortunate to be in bands where everybody's been a part of the songwriting process. But in my experience, when you hit a brick wall on a songwriting process, the best thing for me to do is go on to a different song. And then even 3 or 4 days, I come back to the other song. All of a sudden, I know where I want to go with it.
Yep.
And even if I don't, you know what? It always just gets put in the vault. And I've had songs been pulled out of the vault 6 months later, and I've actually
There
finished
you
them
go.
later.
So that's kind of your process then, where when you get to the point where it's like, okay, we're not doing anything with this right now.
To answer your
so
question.
We're just to answer the question, it's like you can set that aside.
It can't be a forced thing, because whenever it's been a forced thing,
It's not
it
right.
always feels like we're just finishing it to finish it,
right.
and it's just never worked out.
Okay.
It'll always end up as a
yeah.
B-side. It always end up as a B-side.
Yeah.
On something I heard that I read somewhere, it was about the 80-20 rule. About not spending 80% of your time on the 20% of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or what's actually getting done.
Good point, Magus.
I mean, there's been a lot of times where I'll just like lay down a riff and it's terrible. It's awful, and I'll just back burner it, and then like a few months later, just come up, check it out, and actually that riff inspires me after I've forgotten about how terrible it was, and and actually move on from there, and it actually gave me a feeling that I could convey musically. And,
That's awesome.
But it's like knowing when to just stop working on something you're just trying too hard to be great and just be genuine.
Man.
And whatever you do will be great if you're genuine.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly what you're feeling at the time. And you're capturing your emotion. You're sending it out to just everything. You're sending it out to everyone and everything with just what you feel. And if it's right, it's right. And if it's not, it's gonna sound fake.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's all about just being Being in the moment. And
will-
just,
It is, you know.
put out what you feel.
Go ahead.
What sounds
Go,
good.
Matt.
I've always been a firm believer, and I stand by it to this day. Write for your fucking self. Do not write for fans. Do not
Yes.
write for people expecting to hear what you want to hear from them. Do never, ever go down that road. How many bands
Yeah,
do we
you
know
know.
have gone down that road and ended up in shit creek? Write for your fucking self. Write for your fucking self. And,
Yes.
and when you're not feeling
Amen.
it, walk away
Amen
from
to
it.
that.
Come back to it. You'll get it.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. Exactly, Macus. If you're not feeling it, it's not 100% from your heart. Then you won't convey it. But as a musician, it's the hardest thing to listen to your own shit and be unbiased about it because
Yeah.
you're just.
Oh my God.
I'm so balls
It's-
deep in the headphones and the cans of it. I'm just like, the bass needs to be a little bit louder. The treble's too much. On this.
Yeah.
I need to cut the EQ on this, and I need a
It's
filter on
it's
this. and
ultimate
too disco, we need to
it's
record on
ultimate
water.
vulnerability. Yeah, yeah, remember it. But it's ultimate vulnerability. It's one of those things where there's nothing more invasive and there's nothing more raw than like just getting whatever your ideas are out and expressing. I mean, at the crux of it, like that's what art is. You know, like you're taking whatever is either cliche or that's common that we all observe, and putting a twist on it and trying to express something. And it's like to try to express something that you think might not be that profound ends up fucking up the original idea, where it is the non-judgmental expression of whatever it is. The non-judgmental expression. I think that's kind of the whole key of the whole thing. Yeah.
You just nailed it. You just fucking nailed it. The best time, the best stuff I've ever written is when I have nobody else. I'm not thinking about anybody else watching.
That's
The best inspiration is extracted when there's no outside distraction.
Yeah.
When you're in your zone of like, I'm writing this for the self to get myself off. This is what I want to
Yeah,
hear.
Yeah.
getting your
This
own
is what
rocks off.
my favorite
man.
my favorite artists have always been like, I'm playing and I'm writing what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And if your ears are good and you know what's good, then you'll be okay.
Amen
Yep.
to
You
that.
just nailed that one, man.
Well, yeah, I feel like
As we were talking
I
about
feel
that
like that's the
earlier,
core. I feel
Billy
like that's-
Gibbons.
Yeah, like Billy Gibbons. Yeah.
Yep,
I
ZZ
feel like
Top.
all of this
Play
is
what
like
you wanna hear.
it's what's at the core of meditation. It's what's at the core of Buddhism, and like the whole like being centered and being present, where you're not, because the problem is when you're trying to express yourself creatively, if you're worried about the reaction or you're worried about the the appreciation, or you're worried about anything other than just that core idea you're getting out, you're already setting yourself up for failure.
If you write like
and
eyes are
you're
watching.
gonna change it a little bit. Like you just got to be unafraid of judgment.
If you
And-
write
and-
like eyes are watching. Yeah.
yeah,
exactly.
if you write like eyes are watching.
Some of my favorite shit I've written and just been like, I'll burn a CD of it, master it, just a quick little master, and I'll go and throw it in my fucking car and go get something to eat. Like to me,
exactly. I do the
that
same
to me
thing.
that's like the most fun.
Yeah.
I'm on my way
Yeah.
to go get a little Subway sandwich, and I'm like, oh, that sounds good.
Well, yeah.
Is it me or does this sound good? Anybody? Is this me?
Well, everything's
second
got to
guess
survive
yourself.
the
Just
car
second guess
test.
yourself, you know?
No, but you got to get rid of all that shit. You got to get rid of the second judgment. You got to get rid of that parallel fucking. That's one of the great advantages that we have as an evolutionary species, is that now we have the ability to run parallel simulations to the present tense. You know what I mean? If that makes any kind of sense, we have the
That makes
ability to
sense.
run a parallel simulation to the present tense, and if you can get rid of the parallel simulation to where that scenario is running in real time, and you're centered and everything else, which I know is the crux of so many Eastern philosophies and everything, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. But I really feel like that is also pursuing the same centeredness that comes from raw, valuable, like artistic expression. You know what I mean? Whether you're a singer or you're a guitarist or a drummer,
a painter.
whatever.
You're a
Painter,
painter,
you know,
you work in
yes,
clays
any
or
medium,
whatever.
yeah, any creative medium, which literally could be anything. It really, I feel like it just comes down to that same fucking virtue that we find throughout so many philosophies. That is basically just being centered and not having that judgment that passes every. I feel like that's what cripples most people. I mean, I could at least speak for myself. What cripples me from being like bold and experimentation when it comes to music and everything else is that is that reticence that comes from, fear of judgment, So it's like the more you can get past that, man, the more rad music you can come up with, the more cool things you can do. Because you just got to be like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck you. Fuck them. Whatever. Fuck you. I'm Alan fucking Bishop, man. Fuck you. And Tim and Eric. But anyway, the point is, that's fine. That's fine.
It's bad.
But the point is that seriously though, it's like, man, the more you can be centered, whether it's through any repetitive exercise or whatever that you do, it's like I feel like that's where artistic expression, pools from. That's the well from which it draws.
Kind of being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's it.
Is
yes.
Actually being able to, if you can physically go to anywhere where there's people and put your actual balls on the table, you'll understand what it feels like to really display just who you are.
Yeah, that makes me think of the Kids in the Hall thing when it's like, whip your cock up on the table, son. I'll make you a star.
Yes, that exactly. That exact thing. But musically, actually putting your, talking about, the thing, like you say your deepest fear or something,
Yeah.
Something that really bothers you or something you really feel strongly about, and you end up, you end up really censoring yourself if you ever think about what someone else thinks of what you're saying.
That's it.
Because
that cripples, though. That cripples. Dude, I'm saying right now, as somebody who sings and tries to write.
Oh yeah, that's why I don't sing.
It's
that's why I
cripple.
don't sing. I'm terrified of it.
Yeah,
I play guitar.
You gotta
I hide behind a piece of wood, and I'm okay with that.
I hide behind a piece of wood, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's all good.
Yeah, that's okay. But once you can break through that wall, and like I seem to be able to speak my mind better through an instrument than with words.
It's funny.
I'm obviously not a wordsmith.
It's funny. There was a point in my songwriting where I actually started writing songs, imagining a singer writing over a singer writing lyrics over them.
Like kind of third person then. You're
a lot of
once removed.
Well,
Twice removed.
a lot of guitar players will sit there and write riffs and stuff, but when I tend to write songs, I am always imagining what the singer is going to sing over it, and it's like, for me, that was the big breakthrough. It was like, I could already hear the singing, where they were headed with it, where they're going with it, and when the singer came into the fold, put your spice on it, see how it's going to go with it. But I already had an envision on it, and how it was headed.
So you were anticipating like cadences and melody lines, basically.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
When I write music, I'm already thinking about how the vocals are going to go.
So you were dictating that to?
No. He never was presumptuous about it. It was only that he had a vision in his head, and if let's say me being his lead singer for a while, if I didn't follow along with what he saw in his head, he would kind of push me in directions.
Course correct.
Well, not necessarily course correct, but just push me in directions. And if I came up with something that was maybe a little bit different than what he thought originally, he would be like, you know what? That might not be what I envisioned, but it's good.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If I'm working with somebody who's open to the interpretation of what it is and doesn't necessarily go down the road I think it should go, but shows me something fucking better, I'm down.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm down.
Honestly, I think that's kind of one of the amazing things about playing music with other people is that it's a totally, it's another language. And, if you come up with a riff and present it to somebody else and they, they put something on top of it that just completely changes it and just gives it this, like, insanely vibrant feel.
If you're open to it.
But it's like that kind of stuff doesn't come from like
some
one
songwriters
person
are
most of the time.
micromanagers.
Yeah.
Some songwriters are they pull a Mustang on you. Hey, this is how I want it to go. This is how I want it to be. And if you're going to do it, I'll find somebody who will do it.
Well,
if you're working with musicians who inspire you and you write the shit and all of a sudden they're throwing on even better stank that you didn't even think about, that's when you letting them shine.
Well, I mean, I think
work with a vocalist who can put on that shine, who takes the song even to another level. All of a sudden, you have 6 different levels of songwriting of like that you can tell when people listen to it that 3 or 4 people have put in their stank on that.
Yeah.
That's what's fun.
And
then you
love
got that guy.
Yeah,
you got
that's
that guy in your heart. You're like, oh, he's my man. And he knows what to do.
That's something that's like
This
so
guy.
so special as like playing music with other people is that you come in with your preconceived notion. I mean, it's kind of like a little microcosm of life where you come in with your preconceived notion and you meet someone else that has a different opinion and kind of fucks with your way of thinking about things. And I love that. I mean, that's they call them the humanities. Art, science, history, poetry. It's all
just fucking human, man. This
it
separates us from the apes.
Put
but
you
that's
outside
something
your
that
box.
like makes you feel
Challenge you.
Yeah.
Put you outside your box.
makes you feel right when you're
Yeah.
you're surprised by new ideas, and that's amazing.
I always
Love that.
think back on different things I had heard from different comedians. I think I read some of was it in Steve Martin's book? Anyway, but like where it's
Steve
like so much of like comedy and entertainment and music, all it is fucking peekaboo. You know what I mean? It's an adult game of peekaboo where you come up in a surprising place, whether that's in a narrative, a narrative arc in a film or television show, or it's music where it's like you fit, you're doing a certain genre or anything, but you're going in a certain direction, and all of a sudden, like, it still fits within the parameters of what's considered pleasing to the ear, but like where you got to throw them a curveball here and there.
Oh yeah,
And it's like,
Well, it's
that's
like
essentially all it is. That's that's what good songwriting is. That's what good writing is.
I would say that's the whole trick to comedy is surprise.
Yeah, it's peekaboo.
Not necessarily shock,
Yeah,
but surprise. And
Right.
same thing with music. It's like everyone has that one song that they just love, just one part, which is usually like a chord change.
Yeah.
Like something very, very small,
small.
that just
Yeah, it's like
it just
it's like the
resonates in
octave
people.
bump or something, Yeah.
You want it all. You jumped the ball. Never see inside of that. I give myself going fast. Can't you see my face? I'm like a single cry. Still alive. Down to end. Feel what it takes, what it takes, what I'm like an eye. Life's a test. Here's a check. I don't know, don't care what it seems. I'm like a lie. Don't believe while you will. Can't you see what it feels so real in the movie?
right, that was Toys from Mother May I. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. So we're back with round 5 of the SD Brewzik podcast, and we're sitting here at Justin Smith's house doing the commentary.
In the brewery.
Same place that we actually did the actual podcast from.
Yeah,
in your
that's true.
garage.
Yeah. Inspirato, if you will, kind of bring us back.
Yeah.
Where we were.
So this next section is going to get a little hectic. It's a little bit shorter section, but this is probably the funniest part of this entire
Pretty
podcast.
damn funny, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm pretty drunk at this point, so...
We're all pretty hammered at this
yeah.
point. And your mom is high as fuck.
Yeah, she's pretty high. That was really funny. We don't want to ruin any of that for you guys.
Yeah, oh yeah, you need to listen to this, people. It's comedy gold.
Yeah, so Spencer's here, I'm here, Brett's here, and yeah, my mom just comes in unannounced, and yeah, we begin the discussion.
As it were.
As it were, yeah.
So without further ado, here you go.
Yeah, feast your ear holes on this.
No shit. All right, so we're sitting here with Justin Smith, who is our local brewery expert. He's one of my regulars on the show.
Yeah, I'm a
and
regular.
I'll tell you what, dude. No, I need you to tell everybody about your first time listening to round 1 of the Brewzik podcast. What happened?
This is actually a pretty funny story. This was yesterday, and Brett hits me up on a text message. Yo, round 1, available for download. Who wants to hear it before it goes live? Bitches. I'm so excited. And, you know, as he should be.
Well, of course.
Fuck, it's only been like 5 months.
Yeah, it's been a long process, bro. It's been a long process.
Maybe 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Since we recorded that episode. It was really fucking funny. I had such a great time. But, so now you guys don't know this, but I've been really focused lately. I've been kicking ass in the gym, diet, everything. I lost like 17 pounds in the past 5 months.
Congratulations, sir.
You know, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I'm just doing it for me. It's not like some fad diet. I'm not trying to like lose this much in this amount of time and trying to be competitive with it. It's more like I just changed my lifestyle, and you know what? I've been much more productive. But anyway, not the point. I was in the gym, ready to kick ass. I had taken a pre-workout supplement, which has caffeine in it. So I'm like, I'm fucking gung-ho.
You're amped. You're amped.
I'm ready. And so the first 20 minutes, I'm listening to Catatonia. The new album is fucking killer. I love it.
I still got to hear it, by the way.
Oh, my fucking God. It's so killer. It's a musical erection.
Everybody's got to understand that Justin Smith is my local prog metal god. The guy literally knows like all the prog metal bands. He's a huge fan of prog metal, and if you ever listen to Mother May I or another band called I Will Destroyer, very proggy, very amazing bands. I mean, like straight up, like some of the best bands San Diego has ever seen. And if you ever get a chance to listen to them, go pick it up, go listen to it. It's fucking amazing. You will not be disappointed.
Well, you know, we'll play a little tidbit of that, I guess. Probably.
You know, honestly, I would love if we could play some Toys and then also Pig in the Spyder from I Will Destroy It. That'd be rad.
Really cool. I'd appreciate that. I think that would be. I think people would like it. You know, some people like that shit. You know, only it's kind of it's not math metal per se, but it's got a little.
It's extraordinarily proggy, bro.
It requires some patience. It requires your attention. It's not something that's going to give you an instant gratification.
It's not Murica.
It's not, you know. Okay, back to the story. So I'm at the gym, kicking ass. I'm doing my 20-minute, like, uphill walk just to get my body temperature up, and it's part of my warm-up routine. And so I have a stretch routine after that before I even do any real workout. And so I'm sitting on the mats. I'm doing my stretches. I was like, I'll listen to this podcast. Fuck it. Why not? So that was a mistake because I turned the podcast on and I got my Bluetooth headphones. So I'm just completely wireless. I'm just walking around. No one even knows that I got shit in my ears. You know, they can't even tell that I'm listening to something. And I go upstairs. I'm at Vista 24-Hour Fitness. I go upstairs, do chest, and I'm starting to do the dumbbells, doing just a regular like bench press and some flies. And by the time we get into the meat of the podcast where I start to loosen up, and I have a couple beers in me.
Yeah.
And I start to crack some jokes and just like poke at Brett and just have fun. I'm fucking losing it in the gym. I'm cracking up. I'm cracking myself up, which is the fucking worst part about it. I'm cracking myself up. I got tears in my eyes. I can't even finish my set. Whatever I'm doing. I'm laughing out loud in the gym, and people are looking at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I'm like, well, fuck these people. Who cares? They're all like, they're all yoked. And
Of course, yeah.
Whatever. Probably ex-CrossFitters.
Yeah,
and,
super judgmental.
yeah, whatever. And I literally have tears coming out of my eyes because I'm laughing so hard. And I was like, okay, I got to focus. So I get through one set. Then I'm just sitting there, and some other funny part comes on. I'm fucking laughing. Sometimes the laughing spells happen in the middle of a particular set, and I couldn't even finish the set. I had to stop. So it was really bad. It wasn't a wise decision for me to put that on while I was at the gym.
Well, I will tell you this. When editing the show, there were certain parts of the show where I was sitting there with my earbuds in, and I'm editing the show, and I'm just going through it and all that, and I'm literally listening to like the whole podcast, like even all the rough stuff. And there is parts where I'm sitting there watching TV, like, the TV's on, my girlfriend's sitting on the couch next to me, and I will literally burst out laughing. And she's just like, out of nowhere, she's like, just scared the shit out of her, you know what I mean? She's like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like when I was reading Game of Thrones, like when I was in the Song Ice and Fire, those series when I was reading them.
Yeah.
And completely silent in the room, and I'm reading a book, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck? or laughing my ass off something Tyrion says, like silly shit like that. It's like the person observing that has got to be freaking the fuck out, like what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, no, it was weird because it's like there's certain parts of the round one of the podcast that we did for Mother Earth where it is so fucking funny. Oh, dude, so fucking funny, dude.
They got my mom high.
Somebody got Justin's mom high.
Yeah. My mom, she's 63, and she
you
just
didn't
got
even tell
high.
anybody her age. Come on, that's kind of fucked up.
I'm 35. It's okay. You know what? She's my
Faith,
mom.
come on over here on the mic. You can say hi.
She's my mom, and
come
now
on, Mike.
she's high.
Come on, Faith. Faith, get over here on the mic. Right here. Come on. Right here. So, Faith, I want you to say hi to everybody that's listening right now on the podcast. Go ahead and say hi.
Mom, no one's really listening right now. This is a passive recording, and Brett will edit.
Is this just like a practice run?
No, this is
it's a practice run.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a practice run.
You guys are fucking with me.
No, just say hi.
No one's on the other end of this. Trust me, I'm your
What's
son.
all those lines over there?
That is just squiggles.
I know you guys are messing with my head just because I'm high.
It's just squiggles.
Reuben, they're fucking making fun of me. Kick their ass. No. Oh, I'm leaving.
No, Mom, it's not being. It's fine. You're fine. Nothing.
You guys are gonna make an ass.
No. Mom, you're my mom. No one's gonna make an ass of you. I'll fucking kick their face in. It's all good.
He will definitely kick my face in.
Literally, I'll kick his face in.
Kick my face in.
Hey, Reuben, what are you doing over there? Checking out our craftsmanship.
I and I just found out that fucking who was it? Somebody came over and said, "Hey, dude, just check out what fucking Justin built." And I'm like, "Yeah, I helped him build it." And he's all, "He never told me that."
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm curious. Who?
I don't remember who it was.
Oh, see, you're making shit up.
No, I'm not making shit up. I'm not making shit up.
I
bet
credit where
it. No,
credit's due.
I will ask.
That's my philosophy.
I will ask every motherfucker at this party right now, and I will fucking be like, "Dude, did you talk to me about the fucking bench?" Because somebody did. They said, "Dude, did you check out what Justin built?"
Hey, your unsubstantiated comment here is unappreciated.
Who's been over since you built it? Nobody, but
Yeah, nobody. I don't have any friends, dude.
Oh, fuck off.
Nobody
whoever
likes
comes
me.
over here.
Come on.
No, somebody said.
Only come over when they want to eat my pork.
Really?
That's serious.
Really?
Because
Because I've been over several times, and I didn't want to eat your pork.
They say, okay, on my prime rib. They say, prime rib or pork?
I came over to see him.
But you still ate pork.
Well, I ate his pork because his pork is delicious.
It was fucking good.
It's
you
fucking
know what?
amazing. Are you
I'm
kidding me?
not
Come
one to
on.
toot
I'd
my
be
own horn.
stupid not to eat his
Look.
pork.
I know.
Really?
You're
I'm not
very,
one to
very,
toot my
very
own horn, but that fucking pork was
That pork was
delicious.
bomb
It
as
was
fuck.
really fucking good.
That was good.
It's the best thing I ever cooked.
Yeah, no, really
think
good.
so.
Really good. Well done.
I mean, the prime rib was good, but the pork.
If we weren't so
stole
far
the
away,
show.
I'd say high five.
Pork stole the show.
Long distance high five.
Ruben,
Come on.
what do you think?
No,
Did you-
put it up.
Did you get any?
There you go.
Did you get any prime rib? You came up. Yeah, you're a little.
Brett got the last piece.
little
I
late.
got the very last
You were
piece of the
lucky. You
prime rib.
walked in and was the last
Actually,
Yeah.
if Juhan doesn't show up,
No,
there's one piece
Well,
left.
it's
My
yours.
sushi chef.
Oh, is he coming?
He's supposed to
At 11.
after work, and I told him I'd save him a slice, so he's got the last slice of prime rib. But if he doesn't show up,
Kind of jealous.
if Juhan doesn't show up, that means we got one more piece of beef.
I think it should go to Ruben. I really do, because he didn't get one.
Ruben's like, no, I'm good. man."
No. I don't want to take anybody's
Big
last
Mac
piece of
is-
beef.
Yes. He's right. He's right. That's
We enticed her over to the microphone because she's high as hell.
I can't believe my mom is high.
Michael got me high. Michael made me do it.
That's so funny.
Michael did.
That's so funny. Hey, this is the best episode so far. You realize that?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah,
This
oh,
is
yeah.
gonna be the best.
Michael got me high.
Doesn't it sound good? Yeah. You know, I have to say, Darren helped me set
He
up
was
all
there
the
too,
presets.
That guy there.
Big
And the
Spence, did you
template.
get my mom
He made
high?
me smoke.
And he did all the compression and everything,
you
and
made
he
me
did a
light
lot
the
of studying, a
pipe
lot
and
of
taking hits.
research on it, and so it came out really well.
Yeah, you did. Because
I'm very happy with the presets and everything.
Pass it to you.
Passive observer.
So you're like the Renfield.
Actually,
like,
Spencer, I want you to take
Hurry
my
up,
place
Faith.
real quick.
Hurry up, Faith.
No.
Pass the doche.
When he got it, he
No.
passed it the opposite way.
No, I was a
Why you
passive
bogarting that
observer.
thing, Faith?
It happened
No,
to get
he
passed in my
was.
general direction. I made no pressure upon anyone within that circle or semicircle, whatever it may be, whatever, you know.
So, Spencer, I want you to tell us exactly what was going through your mind when you got Justin's mom high.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
tell
they
us.
just passed me
Tell
the
us,
pipe,
Spencer.
and I
I
smoked
wanna
a good.
know.
Like they gave me grains, so I smoked half of the bowl, and then
Then you
then
kept
you
it.
know.
You wouldn't give it back to me, and it
I-
was my
well,
turn.
first I see.
it was
That's
my
what I'm saying.
turn, dude.
I was instantly coaxed into passing it over. So if anything, no one can
No,
fucking give me
no,
any
Michael
kind of
had to
hardship
tell
for
you,
this.
hey,
As you can
Faith gets the
see,
first hit.
no, it
'Cause
was
you
my
wanted to
fault.
take
My
it all.
My apologies. I did take greens, but that was before you had rounded the corner. So in my
No,
defense,
it wasn't your
I
turn.
hadn't seen,
You
you
never
know,
learned anything
the-
in school.
yeah.
When it's your turn,
Yeah.
it's your turn, and if it's my turn, take it.
Yeah, it's my mom.
Jason's
All right,
next.
look, I'm a gentleman,
where's
okay?
Jason at?
My parents raised me properly.
I'm
I
sure they
meant
did.
no
You're a
offense.
wonderful,
I
wonderful
meant
man.
no
You-
offense.
yes, you have
It
very
was
good
gen.
attitude.
It was genuinely.
You
It
just
was.
like to get high a lot, don't you?
I do. I
I can
do.
tell
I
that.
do. I'm sorry.
high
I'm
when you got
sorry.
here,
Yeah,
weren't
I
you?
was.
I knew you were.
I was. I was recording.
Yeah, my
I
mom's
was
a
recording. I
bloodhound.
was.
She
I was
knows.
recording vocals earlier.
Yeah, and that's where you get
And
your, you know,
yeah,
your
and
desire
you know,
to do
you
that.
have a couple of bowls.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
you shouldn't bogart them. You know that. You
No,
were a
I
little
didn't mean
piggy in
to.
there.
I'm
You were a little
very
piggy
sorry.
In the bogart, yeah?
I didn't. That was not my intention. We were recording earlier.
apologizing
We
to
came
me
by.
for taking
I
that
am.
hit?
I am apologizing
I accept
directly.
your apology.
Thank you
But
for
don't
accepting
ever
it.
Do it fucking
I
again.
would never do it again. Oh my God. I
Because
would
you will
never.
be,
I would. No. Yes. I would
and-
Harry carry myself
I would
before I
Harry
would.
carry you.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I came into the. I came into it with a handicap. So my
okay.
apologies.
Hand me that can, por favor.
Apologies.
Oh Lord.
Thank you.
Life is a mystery the creatures will endure. Every sided destiny, there's some we can't ignore. Reliving history, could this be the end of me? This is my reality, it's a price I can't afford.
welcome back to round 5 of the SD Brewzik podcast. You just heard Pig and the Spyder by I Will Destroyer, which is Justin Smith's old band with Mikeal Russo and Matt Saccomano.
Yeah.
Which are actually a couple guys we're going to be talking to now.
Actually, Travis is on that too.
And Travis is on that too. Yeah. Travis Neal.
He was a late ad only because he's so busy doing 15 other bands.
He did whore himself out a little bit.
Yeah, he's a slut. He's a slut for money. That song's actually pretty cool. It's got, as you just heard, it's got a lot of, I don't know if you picked this out, but it's a Charlotte's Web theme.
Yes.
The Pig and the Spyder.
Well, I mean, Pig and the Spyder, you kind of figured it would be.
Well, maybe. You know, you could intuit that, I guess, if you're familiar with the child.
Well,
child
yeah,
novel,
I guess it depends on if you were like going for like a deeper metaphor. You know what I mean? As
yeah.
far as like what
well,
the title meant.
It's a love story. You know, Mikeal would tell it better, but it's a love story that can never be because of the differences between the two.
Of course.
So,
of course.
At any rate, we won't get into that too much. Right now, we're drinking a beautiful beer.
This is a beautiful beer. I will say that it has got exactly all the notes that I was expecting it to have.
And Brett is a fan because he is from Alaska. This is the Alaskan smoked porter, which is somewhat of a standard in the industry.
Yeah.
For its style.
So good. So good.
It is smoky goodness. It is a deep dark brown with a nice light brown head full of rich, smoky aromatics.
So good.
Very tasty. I'm about to drink some right now.
Yeah, get on it, man. Get on it. So
it smells like campfire.
It does. It smells like campfire, and it tastes like, honestly, it's like it's got all these notes of like I remember.
It tastes like campfire too.
No, it's kind of. This is what's fucked up. I remember when I was a kid, and we'd catch fish. We'd catch salmon out at the river, like little Susitna River up there.
Yummy.
And we'd take them home, and then my brother would put them in the smoker, and we'd get smoked salmon. I mean, we had tons of this stuff.
I love it.
Because we catch salmon all the time.
Make me salivate.
So we get this smoked salmon, and this beer has those notes of that smoked flavor to it, like you would get with smoked salmon, and it just finishes so well. So it's like, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, well, they do cold smoke, and that's relative. The grain. Actually, since I do smoke my meats from time to time, I was thinking about...
You don't just beat them?
I know, yeah, I do more than just beat them. But I thought about smoking my own grain, but my smoker is somewhat primitive. Well, actually, now it's a little too modern. It's propane-fueled, but I can't keep the temperature low enough to smoke grain or fish, by the way.
Without burning it?
Yeah, well, not without burning it, but it's just...
or drying it out?
Yeah, drying it out, and the grain probably would, burn. But you need to, they call cold smoking, but it's more like 160 tops.
Yeah, burning grain is actually dangerous because it doesn't become explosive.
Well, in large quantities, that's why most of the brewery equipment that are associated with milling and delivering the grain have to be explosion-proof rated.
Yeah.
So that's the enclosure of
that, and they have to be static electricity, like negative or something like that. They have to have an EH rating.
Grounded. Most equipment will be grounded in that way, statically grounded, but it all works out to be the same. But it needs to be separate away from the actual brewing equipment because it's heat. There's a heat source, obviously, whether it's steam or direct flame. So they need to contain the mill and any area where they're milling grain separately. Sometimes they actually mill it above the mash tun, which they'll just auger it in up top, and it'll mill right before it falls in. I'm not really sure the rules on that, but I think again,
is there a quantity limit at that point?
No, I don't think so. Because some of the bigger breweries do it that way.
Really?
Well, not the biggest ones, but it's all relative. I don't know the differences, right? But if there's a cutoff or when you can't use that technique or that process type. But
okay.
Well, back to this section. So we introduced Mikeal here,
we introduced Mikeal Russo, who
former bandmate of mine,
former
2
guitarist,
times over.
Yeah, former guitarist from Mae I. He also did backing vocals. I do in Mother May I. He also did. I remember he was doing lead vocals in I Will Destroyer before Travis came along. he was doing like he wasn't doing the whole song, but he was doing like parts of it.
Well, he kind of did the whole. He wrote all the lyrics and the vocal melodies along with the songs, so he sang them, but he didn't write them with himself singing them in mind. So, like Mother May I, where it was two-singer approach that weren't necessarily singing on top of each other every time. They both had their own individual style, and it was more of a complementary approach to singing as opposed to I'm going to do a harmony with you here and do a third or a fifth.
So it's like a true duet.
A true duet.
Yeah.
And the vocal lines for I Will Destroy were written the same way. So he would sing his parts occasionally on stage before Travis recorded. So it was kind of funny because it was mostly an instrumental when we actually performed. We only performed once with Travis, I think, but it was...
Yeah, I was at that show.
It was
at the
instrumental.
Jumping Turtle.
That was John's memorial show, I believe.
I believe it was John Morris'
and
memorial
so
show,
that was,
yeah.
I think that was the last show
Look,
I
we've
played.
come full circle.
Yeah, we did. 'Cause we started off this episode talking about John Moore, or Juan Moss, as I like to call him. Yeah. Good dude. He left us too soon, and we had a memorial for him. I think it was in May or April of 2013.
No, it was in August.
August.
It was in August because
you're right.
he died in June, and then
it was
I
August.
put the show together at the Turtle, and the main reason why I put the show together at the Turtle is because that was the last place that Difficult Henry ever played as a band. So and then we put it together in August, and it was an amazing show. It was a really heartfelt show. It was an amazing show.
It was such a great turnout. We got a picture of everybody up on stage that contributed to the show.
Yep.
Brett did lead vocals. He did John's parts for Difficult Henry. I was initially supposed to do the guitar for Jason Smith, who was in that band, who was talking at the beginning of this episode. And I just didn't have time to commit to two full sets on such a short notice. And all the songs from I Will Destroy, we hadn't played out in, I don't even know how long it had been. But then the Difficult Henry songs would have been all new tracks for me to learn, so I just didn't have the time.
And they were not easy. They were not easy at all.
Definitely not. I think, what was it, Steve Brogden that came in?
Steve Brogden came in from Newcomb. He came in and did the guitar parts for Jason Smith.
Right.
And then we also had the original guitarist, Chris Hamala.
Yep.
He played his parts, obviously.
Chris Schrum played the
Chris
bass.
Schrum was their bass player for a while, so he came in and played bass. And then we had Matt Jensen from One Theory. He was also in The Clearing. He came in and did drums.
Is he doing anything now, Matt?
Matt is, I think he's got his fingers in a few pies, but he's not committed to anything yet.
Okay, cool. Well, that's a little history lesson there, and this clip is it's kind of silly. You guys are.
This is a bunch of drunken idiots.
I'm so wasted.
Talking about porno.
Yeah,
right,
that comes up. It comes up.
It comes up. What do you mean it comes up?
Some opinions were thrown around about, the history of porn. Not really on topic, but we figured you guys deserve to laugh.
This has nothing to do with breweries or music, but it doesn't matter because it's funny.
Yeah, so have a listen here.
Check it out. All right, welcome back to the SD Brewzik podcast. We're sitting here with Mikeal Russo, former lead guitarist and vocalist from Mother May I.
I only played leads.
You did vocals too. I watched it.
Yeah, but I only played leads. I don't know how to play rhythms. So.
And also former guitarist for I Will Destroyer.
Which I only played leads for. That's why they have rhythm guitar players and lead guitar players.
I'm just saying, man. So anyway, Mikeal, tell us about what you're doing lately, man. Come on, what have you been doing lately? What have you been up to?
Masturbating.
We've already discussed the fact that masturbation is a very
Masturbation is a crime.
Interesting art form.
Masturbation is a crime,
Is it
and
really
it should be
interesting?
prohibited in city limits.
It's just a
You're full of shit.
primitive. You got limbs, and you realize, hey, I can touch down there, and then all of a sudden,
Pipe her down.
Yeah, we got some local breweries here. I'm drinking a Stone IPA. Max is drinking Ballast Point Piper Down. Piper Down.
What's Justin drinking, Brett?
Justin is drinking whiskey. I don't know what the fuck he's drinking.
Well, let me tell you, Justin's drinking a Russell Select, 10-year aged.
I drank
Beautiful bourbon.
I drank some whiskey
Kentucky
and some rum.
straight. No, you don't.
Well, Michael,
did tonight.
Michael's been
What whiskey did you
partaking in
drink?
the.
I don't know what do we had on that shelf. I just finished those bottles.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Michael's been partaking in the herbal supplements today.
Well, Michael,
day and every day.
every day. Michael, it's a rarity
Cheech
when
and
Michael
Chong
actually.
meets Seth Rogen.
Yeah, kind of. It's a rare occasion when Michael imbibes with the rest of us. Fucking heathens.
You mean drinking?
Imbibes, yes.
Yeah.
I bust out college words every now and then.
He does do the $12 words every once in a while.
I don't know about $12 words.
Well, $5 words.
$7.50 maybe. Fucking $12. Like I'm fucking Fraser Crane and
Yeah,
shit.
you know, you got that, high education.
I do have a beard. I don't know.
does that mean you have a?
Maybe.
Does that mean you have an amazing vocabulary? He's like, I have whiskers on my chin.
Quite possibly. And I imbibe.
Do you guys wash your beards with shampoo or just body wash?
I use
I do the
shampoo.
okay. I do top to bottom with Dove soap, literally Dove bar soap, the whole thing, top to
That'll
bottom.
work.
Yeah,
He skeets
including my
on it.
butthole, the whole thing,
Brett gets
Even
skeet
the butthole.
and rubs it in his
including
beard.
the butthole.
Yeah, I use the Dove soap on my face and just use the body wash.
So I gotta say something, man. I gotta say something.
that
And
that's
this is probably one of the best memories I have of Michael, and this was probably one of the funniest things I've ever dealt with. We were at it was an advertising for some show that was coming up, and we were on Rock 105.3.
Oh, geez.
And it was Missy's local show, way back in the day, and we're sitting there and we're talking to Missy, and we're talking about the show, and we're talking about this big show that's coming up at Soma. And we had like a member from at least one or two members from each band that was going to be playing that show there at the studio. And Michael decides that this would be a perfect time to start pulling up porn on one of their computers.
Well, if you're not talking, you want to keep yourself kind of busy.
So he's pulling up RedTube while we're sitting there having a discussion live on the air.
This is like 10 years ago, so I was just showing that, hey, look what we got here.
Look what's trending.
Exactly. But now we're 10 years, now it's 2016. I mean, everybody's seen, we're all desensitized to porn.
Well, yeah, because porn has become so fucking mainstream now. It's like, you got porn stars that are actually in like mainstream movies and shit.
Like what movies, Brett?
Yes, Brett, what movies?
Well,
Which ones?
Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh, Tracy Lord. She's
Okay,
not a porn
Tracy
star anymore.
No, Katie Morgan.
Katie Morgan. She's
Oh,
not a
right,
porn star
Katie
anymore either.
Morgan, yeah.
Well,
She's
I'm just
transcended
saying, but she
porndom.
was a porn star.
She's like she has what, an IQ of 140 or something.
And
like that?
Sasha-
Tracy Lords, another one that went
Sasha
mainstream.
I always liked
Rose
her
was in
titties.
Steven Soderbergh's The
Tracy
Girlfriend
Lords.
Experience.
There you go. There you go. I'm just saying that, porn stars have become
Sasha
fucking
Grey?
mainstream now, man.
Sasha Grey.
You know what's funny about porn?
Just a couple.
No, tell me, Michael,
Just
what's
a
funny
couple
about
sluts
porn?
made it to
It's
the
like
big
girls
screen.
back
Fucking
in the
hookers.
day weren't so cute. You know what I mean? But now that, like, the kids today grow up on porn and,
Don't you think it kind of
they look at it.
desensitizes you for a little bit, though?
Well,
Well,
Michael
wait.
still watches kids on porn.
No.
Sorry, am I too hot?
You're a little too close, man.
You are too hot.
It's like, all you hear is, Justin!
My point being is we grew up on Playboys and stuff, and now the kids today can just go right on.
Dude,
their-
I remember
giant
on their
I was a
phone.
little kid in fucking Federal Way, Washington, right? I was fucking like 7, 8 years old.
You were never a little kid.
I was a little kid. I don't believe you. Whatever. I don't
Macus
even care.
agrees. Macus agrees.
Yeah. So I was a little kid up in Federal Way, Washington, and the fucking thrill of my life was we were walking through the woods and we see these little fucking like makeshift like homeless forts, right, in the woods. Yeah, little makeshift fucking like little wood piled up and
Right,
fucking
right.
try to make something and like a little shelter out of it. And we'd go inside of them and there'd be fucking like a stack of fucking Playboys or penthouses in there.
Isn't that how it was back in the day?
Yeah, but that
you'd
dude,
always
that was
find
like the
I can
biggest
relate.
thrill, dude. Period.
I
It's
totally
like,
can
wow,
relate.
But you
here,
always
naked
find those.
chicks.
You always
Cheers to
find
that.
those in like dumpsters or makeshift forts or something.
Yeah.
Because I
Some
found that
kid
shit
stole his
when I
dad's
was-
Playboys and stashed them.
Exactly.
And then the other kid got the idea. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna steal my dad's Hustlers. And then,
But
then all
back
of
to
a sudden you
my
got
back
full
to my
spread.
my point, Brett. I was saying was back in the day, girls in porn weren't so cute, and now that the
Well, Bush was definitely a lot bigger thing back then.
It was
but
bigger.
they
period.
also besides the
Big.
Bush, the girls in porn just weren't as hot as the girls today.
True.
I
I'll give you
mean,
that.
the
I'll give you
girls
that.
today are like models.
Well,
They
no,
grew
no, no.
up
Hold
on it.
on a
It's not
second.
taboo.
Hold on a second. You're making some very heavy accusations there.
Dude, there's some tens.
I am a fan of the vintage porn. Sorry, guilty as charged. I like.
So
vintage.
you like a big Bush?
I will search for vintage porn when I'm doing.
Are you?
my
Oh, no.
business.
I want an actual answer from
Business.
you. Do you like the bigger Bush?
It ain't about the big bush.
No,
fellas.
it is about the big
Nope,
Bush because
nope.
that's fucking vintage porn, dude.
One facet, one aspect of vintage porn is big bush.
Dude, before
He likes-
1970, nobody shaved.
He likes the grainy.
That's not the only thing they
grainy
did
video.
differently.
What else? Please tell me.
Oh, okay. I get to talk now.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh, fuck off.
Here's what I like. Here's what I like about vintage porn.
Okay.
One, the scenes were a little bit more realistic and flowing than they are now. They were a little bit more believable than they
wanna
are
watch,
now.
You want to watch some?
One facet that I like. Another facet, the blowjobs were much better. They were better delivery, more cinematic, more emotional, very sexy. Now it's just like gag,
Okay.
slobber, gag.
As a porn lover
that's kind of fucking.
myself,
I don't dig.
You know,
Justin-
the thing is, I'm kind of into that.
Well, that's
Justin-
fine. For me, that's a disparity from
I have to give a
old
shout out.
generation to new generation.
What do you got, Michael?
I have to give a shout out if you like that passion and that story.
Le passion.
Go on any porn site and look up Blacked.
Who?
Just Blacked.
Blacked.
Yeah,
How do you
and
spell
it's
that?
just Black. BLACKED.
Like black the verb.
Like blacked.
You black
Right.
the verb.
Yeah, black to the
Look
verb.
up Blacked, and
Past
it
tense
comes
verb.
from Blacks.com, which is black dudes having sex with white chicks. And there's always a good story. Most of them cheating on their white husbands, but it leads up to the porn, like where they met the guy and
Yeah.
and the blowjobs and the fucking sex and the HD fucking
Yeah, HD.
dude.
Yeah, see?
Any porn site,
High def
Black.
dickin'.
I highly
There
recommend
are
it.
some new school porn like
highly
that
recommend it.
that I dig, but that's like it's a throwback. When they're and they gotta brand it especially like passionate. Like it's like okay, not everybody fucks like that.
All I know is that I find it kind of disturbing, and this again, this is just me. This is just me and my tastes. But when a girl has to like brush the pubes out of her way when she's sucking a dick, it's a little disturbing.
Never
Well,
seen that.
you know what? I
Maybe
am
we're not paying
personally
attention enough.
I manscape very very efficiently. So
And so do I.
So it doesn't matter. Even though my beard would suggest otherwise, I am very well kempt down below.
Okay. On that note, I probably
Just for you
am
ladies out there,
about out of here.
in case you're worried about
I gotta get
flossing.
going anyways. Thanks
good
for having
night.
me, Brett.
Good night.
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly because I know a lot of people have mispronounced it, but this is Matt Saccomano.
Is it sack or sock?
If you were in Sicily, that might be an issue.
But we're in America, so it doesn't fucking matter.
You know, I don't understand or even know how to pronounce my name because I'm American.
American.
But apparently my ancestors call it Saccomano.
Saccomano?
Suck it to me. Saccomano.
That's right.
We love you, brother. Cheers.
Yeah, he's sitting there with some whiskey and a beer.
I know, gifted.
He's
by,
double
this
fisting.
is
I
my
want a
man,
double
this is
fist.
Fucker right here.
Who wants to double fist me?
Man, I'm in
Oh
trouble,
no.
guys.
He's married too. He's in trouble.
No matter where I go, I'm always in trouble.
Man. Hey, tell the ladies they got fed some salty beef and salty swine Yeah, that's a
Nice.
great
That sounds
idea. dude.
amazing.
I got an extra bed, brah. It's already inflated, ready.
It's already
It's got your name on it.
It's already blown up for you, bro.
You want to do it? Stay all night and get wasted?
I don't know. It's a man's world, so we'll see.
It is a man's world.
All right, so Matt,
Sorry, ladies. We love you.
I know the first time I met you was actually when you were in I Will Destroy Her with Mikeal Russo.
Mikeal Russo.
Yeah, well.
Would you please?
And me.
I'm trying to be.
He was gonna get to
professional
me
as possible
too.
here,
I was
homie.
there. I was there for a few of those shows.
That's not gonna happen.
I know this is fucking a waste of time.
Amazing.
So, I'm just asking. It's like, what do you, as far as local music, what is attracting you right now? What's really hitting hard for you?
Well, it's kind of an interesting question you have there, because I'm in this real weird world of playing music that I never thought I'd play, and metal was my life up until 4 years ago, and then I started smoking a lot of weed, and that made me kind of regress a little bit, but at the same time progress with more fusion-y type stoner rock.
Are we talking about like? Are we
double bass?
Are we talking like
With double bass.
Are we talking like?
Love it.
Wow.
With double bass.
So are we talking like the Sword? Or are we talking like? Are we talking like Mastodon? What are we talking about?
A little bit of like Thurston Moore mixed in with Mastodon. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, Mastodon, because that drummer freaking shreds.
Yes, he does.
And that's what it's all about, smoking a bunch of weed and just playing nonsense on a guitar while playing complicated drum solos.
Yes.
That just sounds like complete and utter nonsense.
Yes. 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 I'm going to fucking noodle.
Just noodle the fuck out of it while the drummer's just going the fuck off.
I'm going to fucking play my guitar, do helicopter dick while Matt does his thing.
Yes! Yes! Helicopter dick. Woo!
Yeah, yeah. Well, Matt does complicated drum solos.
Okay, yeah, he's got to play it up here, dude.
Look,
He's gotta play
I
it up
just
here.
raise it.
He's gotta
I'll use,
play it up
hey,
here.
Mike, I'll use a jack strap. Elevate that shit.
That's the jazz stance on people. When you play
Jack strap's
jazz,
gonna
you
all
don't
the way up
hang
to my
the
chest
guitar
and a
like
helicopter
cool
dick.
guy. You put it up to your breast nipples.
That's right.
And play
That's
them
right.
guitar solos.
So, Matt, so as far as projects that are coming up now, it's like, how do you feel about, like, where you want the direction of your drumming to go?
As far as drumming goes, I don't really think too much about the drumming part.
As far as the future of what you want to do? I mean,
Yeah.
don't you think that's kind of important?
Well, of course, yeah. Percussion is a main key of music, but what I want to see is basically, I want to see the next threading of the needle between the two threads that are already there that's going on. So I want to basically create, something that is very melodic and very, very meaningful, but at the same time fun and loose, but also very technical and focused.
So, Brett, I think to couple with what Matt just said,
yeah,
I don't know that you understand the capability that Matt Saccomano has with respect to other instruments.
I think okay, and I'm not fully aware.
Matt is a composer.
I'm not fully aware of his instrumentation.
Yeah,
I get the fact that maybe he's a master of other instruments that I don't know of.
Okay,
all right.
You should know that.
But again, this is more focused on him as a percussionist, not
okay.
necessarily anything else.
Well, okay, so he's giving you an answer that slightly exceeds your expectations.
Get in here.
No, I get it.
Okay.
But my point being is that it's like when it comes to local music, there is a definite regression in talent that I've seen lately.
There's a definite want for Matt Saccomano to be their drummer.
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
Hey,
again,
hey,
those are
hey!
really-
You got Matt's number, Justin?
Yeah, no.
Hey,
How many
you
times
know,
have
you
heard
remember that guy used
How
to
many
jam
times have you
with?
heard that?
Hey, you want to hit
I've already
Matt
got
up?
dibs on him, so
Yeah, I'm
he's
just saying.
ready to
I'm just
start a
saying.
project,
How
just
many
hit me
fucking
up.
times have you fucking heard that in the last 2 years? I have heard, dude. If you got Matt Saccomano's number,
You know,
there's not a whole lot of guys out there that are really fucking like pushing the envelope.
that's kind of I'm kind of upset to hear that because I've been really out of the scene. And,
Yes, you have.
I have purposely reclused myself because I have my own journey to follow, and
Of course.
Well, I will say
basically
it was,
I'm trying to create something that I've been trying to create for over 10 years, and once it's done, it's going to consist of about 50 minutes of my shit, and that's when I want to bring these guys back into it. I'm going to hit you guys up, and we're going to go from there. Because I want to take your ideas, and I want you guys to take my ideas.
I will say it was awesome having you on the Dimebag show.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
That was
a
a
lot of
great
fun.
time.
There was
You
a
know what
lot
I
of
mean?
good shit coming out of San Diego.
And that's what I'm saying is that I don't know what happened. I know that a lot of the really talented people, the people that were pushing the envelope and fucking really making the difference as far as talent goes, kind of retired. They didn't really retire, but they just kind of was like, you know what, I'm over it. And they walked away. And I know Michael's one of them. I know you kind of did the same thing. I know there's a couple other people that we know that did the exact same. Hello, one of them sitting in the fucking room. Reuben.
He ran.
Yeah. All right.
Was standing in the room.
Just walk the fuck away from it. All right. And it's not because they were fucking, just done playing music. It's just that they were done trying to fucking make a career out of music or make something happen in the music scene because it became untenable. And I understand that. What I'm saying is that what needs to happen is that those talented people need to realize that they are needed in this scene and they should come back.
Yeah, I do agree.
And you were one of them.
There is
by
an
the way.
obligation by the people who are really throwing it out there to kind of keep the ball rolling. I mean, if you have the talent and you put the work in and you're putting out stuff that have blown others away and they look up to that, you shouldn't just freaking drop the ball on them and bounce out. I agree on that. I think if anyone has a good talent and something to give, you shouldn't keep it for yourself. It's kind of a selfish thing to do. And you only live once. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's one thing if you're like a golden Olympic gold medalist. That's
and your whole goal is the Olympics, yeah.
Yeah, or you're multi-talented like that. Like you're a gold medalist, and then you're also a Grammy Award winner, and you're also a freaking
Oscar winner,
professional billiards player, and a pole dancer on the weekends.
Shit.
But yeah,
Michael's back.
No, I think.
By the way, I want to discuss the fact that Michael has Tupperware in his hoodie.
Yeah, he does. Do you know what the contents are, people? Do you guys know what's in the Tupperware? Let's
Weed.
guess.
The contents of the Tupperware
It's only legal
have
in a couple
marijuana.
states currently. However, it should be widely accepted.
That's all I have to say about that.
The Tetra Cologne, brought to you by Russo, Mikeal, comma.
I just thought it was funny. I was like,
So-
this guy's got Tupperware hanging out of his fucking hoodie.
Brett, you think Matt and I should start I Will Destroyer again?
I don't think you guys should ever have quit I Will Destroyer.
Yeah.
I don't think I Will Destroyer should have ever gone away.
Does a flower ever bud its same
All right.
bloom?
But again, look where Travis is at.
Oh wait, doesn't have to include Travis.
I know, but I'm just saying, look where Travis is at.
I'm not looking at him thinking about Travis.
Okay,
I'm just
but-
saying, Matt and I.
Okay.
Where, who, or what we other members would come from.
Personally, I would have liked to have seen you guys with a fucking like a seriously like amazing bass player.
Right. We only had one album out, so
Yeah.
there's still room to grow, and like you can't say, okay, a lot of bands go through changes before, they become what they really are.
Well, there's bands that have broken up before they got
Look
their
at
first
AC/DC.
Grammy. You know what I mean? And then got together because of their Grammy. It happens. It has happened. It's not like it's not like, a fantasy. It really does happen. You know what I mean? And honestly, you guys have come out with a brilliant album that not that many people have probably heard.
No.
It's a sad thing, the fact that nobody's heard that,
Yeah.
because it is a fucking brilliant album. You know what I mean? It literally is. Matt, I don't know if you know that or not. I don't know if you even realize that, but it is a fucking brilliant goddamn album. If you ever get a chance to pick up an I Will Destroyer album, and I'm talking to my audience right now. If you ever get a chance to pick up an I Will Destroyer album, pick it the fuck up because it is fucking brilliant.
But you can go on SoundCloud and check out I Will Destroyer.
Yeah.
We're on there.
Let them know what the address is, man. Fucking tell them. Come on. advertise.
SoundCloud.com, I Will Destroyer.
There you go.
Destroyer like the ship.
It's interesting how that album came to be.
Yeah. Took fucking forever. You're allowed
Yeah.
to curse on your podcast. That's right, it's a podcast.
Remember, I was in the studio recording at like fucking
4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
I got like 5 red lines and 2 Red Bulls every 5 minutes.
Yeah, because they had
from the
recorded
liquor
it
store.
in a couple
Fucking
days.
red lines, dude. You didn't have a heart attack?
I did. That's why we never made it.
But
I've been
also,
in
when
fucking
those,
recovery.
those things literally give me heart palpitations, dude.
I
What's
was
going on?
showing, I was
Took me like
showing
15
Matt's
hours to
parts
record, like 2 songs.
minutes before he's playing them. Like it kind of goes like this, and then he fucking just do it.
Yeah, there was parts to the album that I never even played before. It was all just from Michael's
Okay,
head
well, this is coming
And
from
he
somebody
taught me
who's
them
actually seen you do it, dude.
as I sat there.
You actually, when you came on the Dimebag show last year, all right, you literally were on, I think, what, 4 songs?
I think it was 3, but
Was it 3
maybe
songs?
so, yeah.
Okay. And I watched you go out and listen to one of the songs. You never played it before. It went out to the fucking parking lot of the studio, listen to the fucking song, and then come into the studio and nail like 95% of it. I watched you do it. I literally watched you do it. I'm like, dude, he's never played the fucking song before. He's out there listening to it in his truck, and now he comes into the studio and nails like 95%.
Is that a commendable moment? I mean, dude, that's my curse.
There is not many people that can do that.
That's dude, I hate that I was even forcing myself to do that. That was irresponsible on my part.
Well, whatever. Oh my God. Really? 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 This motherfucker.
I should have done my homework.
Did he ever tell you how I met him?
No. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
13 Steps, right?
I don't remember what song it was. Was it 13 Steps? It might have been, yeah.
Kind of memorize a song in like 5 minutes. It's legit.
I put it out on Craigslist.
Oh,
looking
good old
for-
Craigslist.
Good old Craig. And, I'm thinking, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not going to find anybody.
The
on
starter of
Craigslist.
careers and the
So I
ender
put
of
it-
marriages.
Progressive metal band starting. Progressive metal band starting and looking for a drummer. And he answers me and tell him what you said. But he answers my email.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
I said, hey,
Come on.
I'm a lonely drummer playing in my bachelor pad.
No.
I'd love to join your
Hands
band.
are hands.
And I've got a large cock.
Hands is. Come on, man. Hands as fast. If you want a drummer with hands as fast as
Most feet.
what'd you say?
Oh yeah, feet as fast as most people's hands.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It was a lie.
Check out
Everyone.
Bragg.
It was so. It was so
This is-
funny.
this is
If you want a
pre-Tom
drummer
Slade
with
to
in
me. I
hands
didn't know
as
what
fast
was
as
in the world.
speed, there's something. You need to hit me up. So I hit him up, and the guy comes out, and we fucking just meshed right away.
Nice.
I was like, damn, this dude fucking shreds.
You know, I honestly, I have to say, dude. I remember the first time I watched you guys play. It was without Travis, and it was just the 3-piece.
3 of us, yeah.
All right, so it was Justin, you, and Matt, and you guys, I guess, had a backing track for your bass player.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it was at the Jumpy Turtle, and I think it was one of the last shows at the Jumpy Turtle.
Okay.
And fucking, I watched you guys play, and watching you play what you guys play on a 4-piece drum kit was phenomenal. I was blown the fuck away that it was only a 4-piece. I was literally
It
floored.
made
I was
Brett
fucking
wet,
floored.
and that's why they call
what
him
was
Brett
in.
Wet.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Matt
was floored,
Halpern
dude.
and freaking what's his name from Animals?
What?
Those guys were all doing it.
What?
Animals as leaders.
Different
Oh.
periphery.
Yeah. What's
Okay,
his name?
again,
Matt Halpern
National
and,
acts, National acts playing prog metal. Okay, you don't see that on a local scale. Local scale is let's overdo it so everybody gets impressed by the size of my fucking drum kit.
Yeah.
All right. You took the fucking drum kit, sized it down, and played it like it was a fucking 12-piece.
Well, his truck doesn't
Well, I
fit
mean,
anything
you know what I mean?
more than that.
Also, I like to go hiking and camping a lot, so to lug around a fucking 12-piece kit is just a real pain in the ass.
See what I'm saying?
I get that. I get that. You know, that's
I'm
why they
becoming
make
a-
fucking traveling acoustic guitars. I get that.
I'm gonna
No,
be a
no, but
blues player,
seriously,
so I
so-
just have to have a twin reverb.
Maybe you
in
should
my-
just take a
Yeah.
djembe and be
shot.
done with it. You know?
I mean, literally, that was pretty influenced actually by the drummers that I was looking up to because at the time, like,
Well, I mean, let's talk about that. What were some of those drummers? What bands are you know blowing up your skirt?
we got Animals as leaders, we got Periphery, you know, Mastodon, Gojira, but
Gojira's
they were
fucking
still playing
amazing.
with bigger drum sets, like your classic two
No,
bass drums.
if you watch the new video, actually, he's down.
Well,
south.
now
On
he is.
Stranded?
He caught on to it finally. But yeah, like
But
4 years
yeah,
ago, he was still playing on big drums.
any good drummer can downsize and rip on a 4-piece. You know that.
Yeah, but basically, the reason I did go down to 4-piece is the people that I've always looked up to, which were not metal at all. It's Dave Weckl, Thomas Lang, you know, Buddy Rich,
Jesus.
all those classic guys. They played on these tiny little jazz.
We're talking
kits,
about
but they
jazz.
played-
Yeah, we're talking about jazz drummers here. dude.
Exactly, but if you any metalhead, I'm gonna say this right out. If you're a true metalhead and you can shred hard on your instrument, take a look at some of the classic jazz in America that has been.
All right, I'm going to
in
get
our
more whiskey.
history,
Who wants
and
some?
Those guys fucking shred.
Okay, so we're talking about, you know, I mean, and the thing is that I love the fact that because I'm as a vocalist, I look towards more pop-oriented vocals than I do metal-oriented vocals. It's like, you know, Phil Anselmo was an influence on a lot of vocalists that I know. He was never my influence.
Well, how about Phil Collins?
Phil Collins was definitely one of my influences, and so was.
Really? I was just throwing that out there.
I'm not even kidding. Dude. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. I love Phil Collins.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing.
Yeah, he is. Too
You know.
bad he got slammed in his divorce.
But so was Elton John, huge influence on mine, you know, on me. Mike Patton, huge influence, you know. But again, these are not your normal metal singers, and the fact that you can look at jazz drummers or blues drummers and be influenced the same way in a metal genre is amazing because at that point you change the genre.
Well, I mean, it's nothing new. Look at Rush. I've drinking a lot of whiskey. I can't even think of the Rush's drummer's name.
Neil, a drummer.
Mr. Pert.
Neil Peart. Wow.
Mr. Peart.
Wow, that's just kind of embarrassing.
A man
in way.
who's amazingly persevered.
He's only played
through
like the biggest drum
serious
set known to
personal-
man.
One of the biggest influences in rock history, you know, drummer-wise. But go ahead, Matt, the drummer.
All right.
Well done, sir.
So since we're past all this, you know, Neil Peart, he came from jazz fusion background, and
Okay, now I got a question. Is it true? Because how much do you know about him?
actually not too much. I've seen that main documentary that they put out a couple of years ago, and then I've read
No.
here and there about it.
From what I understand, that after he had a tragedy in his family.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he didn't his wife and kids or something.
His wife and his daughter
Yeah.
Died
within 6 months.
Okay.
She was only 19.
After that happened, he actually spent 3 years relearning a different form of drumming.
Well,
Like-
probably 3 years. It took him about 3 years to get back into Rush again because he was done. After that,
Okay.
those tragedies, he was done.
Yeah.
And he took a trip, wrote a book. He just kind of went on a road trip and
Yeah.
kind of got his thoughts together.
Realized he needed to make some money, so he wrote a book.
And
about it.
yeah, he's written a few books actually, and he got back in Rush. And what was your original thought?
You are so stoned.
Hey.
So we are stoned. We're in Southern
No, but that's what I was
California.
saying is
San
that he
Diego.
actually took the time to go from what his normal, like, the normal style.
Okay, yeah. So
and
he
actually
after
switched it up
then
to
when
a
he got
little
back into
classic
Rush,
style.
he started taking lessons again. Yeah,
Yeah,
old.
and he learned a totally different style of drumming.
Well,
See, I didn't
it
even
was
know
the
that.
style of his snare.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he went from I think it's like an open hand to a closed hand or whatever it's called.
Something like
Traditional.
Traditional to what is it called? You'd know.
I don't know. I'm guessing. I mean, they have, as far as gripping the stick goes, there's traditional and match grip.
Well, yeah, but I mean, match grip is more this.
It's
what
yeah.
you normally see metal drummers doing or rock
You
drummers.
never see a metal. Yeah, all metals or metal drummers are match grip. You have traditional grip for mostly
And traditional
jazz
grip
playing.
is like the side stick kind of style, right?
Yeah, your left hand.
Okay,
holds
I
the
think
stick
that's
to the
what he
side.
learned to do. He learned to literally the entire Rush catalog, by the way,
That's what I'm guessing.
on a fucking
you're talking
traditional
about.
grip.
I have no idea.
which is insane. I mean, that's insane. You're talking about 28 albums of music.
Yeah, they put out a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And they're still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So what does that tell you?
No, they are. They are.
No, they're not.
They got
I think they
inducted.
just made
yes,
it,
they
yeah.
did last year.
Did they?
Yes.
Fucking finally.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Only took them 40 years.
But-
You know, it's kind of funny because Steve Miller, Cheap Trick,
NWA.
NWA, motherfucker.
here comes Justin
Got
tripping over
inducted
the
this
thresholds
year.
of his
And
garage
Chicago.
door.
Yeah. Way to make a bunch of noise, bro. It is pretty quiet. It is pretty quiet.
I do doors, by the way. Also, I'm gonna.
They inducted the Beastie Boys before Rush. Can you believe that?
So
Well-
yeah, Neil Peart brought into Rush what I feel you guys have been so attracted to I Will Destroy Her about. I mean, he was playing with a guy who was very technical and in many ways more capable than I was in certain aspects of drumming.
Paul?
Yeah.
Really? You think
I
so?
came on.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, I don't know. I listened to the recordings of your
I might be a
prior
little
music,
biased, though.
and there's some stuff that he
Fuck
was
you,
a machine
Higgins.
at that
I'm
I've
not
never
going to say he
become
wasn't a
as
good
consistent
drummer.
at. But there was things that he was more consistent at than I have ever been. But
I-
that's fine. That's one aspect of drumming. You know, what I brought into I Will Destroy Her was I feel was more very jazz and fusion influence, a lot more dynamics,
Right.
a lot more flair to the solos.
But the
and
band was
changes.
also more progressive than the Mother May I band.
Yeah, there was a lot of progression. Basically, my whole thing was feeling the energy from what you were trying to portray as a guitarist and a composer and a singer.
Right.
I tried to feed.
like I
I
just sat in the
feed
hot
off
tub.
your energy. That's why you guys like me so much. I think is because I'm good at feeding off your energy.
Well, any
I
good
can-
drummer feeds off of the energy like that. I
We
mean,
can generalize that to musician. Any good musician can feed off
Exactly.
others'
Exactly.
mojo.
But when you bring
feed off
other,
of Justin's beard.
I grew up playing jazz.
I probably still got some pork left in there.
Yummy.
eating
Most
pork
definitely.
sliders.
I wish
Can
I
you-
had some more of that left.
What does that thing smell like in the morning?
Delicious. Smells like.
His own jizz.
Come-
That's impressive.
I was gonna say I don't have that kind of range, but that's not true.
Big whiskey and essence, Dave Justin.
By the way, for all you listeners, the mics have changed around, and now we're down to the exact
Yeah, I Will
three
Destroy
original
Her.
members of I Will Destroy Her,
Yeah.
minus the vocalist, Travis, and
The bass player, Michael.
Yeah.
Wait,
that
no,
bass player,
and me.
the
He's here
recorded
too.
track made by
What about the
Mikeal,
keyboardist? No, Michael's here too.
which could have been.
Like a three-piece
Matt,
band.
you did some keyboards on that album, though, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I did a
Matt,
little
yeah,
bit.
Matt shreds on
We
the
split the
keyboard. It's pretty
duties.
sick.
I wouldn't call it shredded.
Multi-talented.
I gave the harder stuff to him.
Hey, Michael, have you heard any of Matt's like all original, all super
Keyboard.
super group.
Oh yeah,
Super
I've heard.
Matt. It's like Super
I've heard
Matt
Super Matt.
Delicious album.
Super Matt 5000.
Kinda sounds
Yeah,
like
Super Matt
Debussy.
5000. It's fucking sick. I was like, man, dude,
Matt
you
is
need to
very
send me
talented.
that. I want to like put some
I'm
sizzle on
waiting
it.
for
mixture between
waiting for his
Taylor
big
Swift and
debut album to
Debussy.
come out.
No, me too. Super Matt 5000.
You know,
And is there a scene in San Diego? Really?
There actually is. It's growing.
Where do they play?
Brick by brick, dude. Now that Woven War took it over, they're fucking actually.
That's it. Brick by brick.
Brick
Ah.
by Brick's the
Yeah.
metal hub. There's no more North County. There's no more South County.
Now that fucking the Jumping Turtle's gone.
Ruby
You know what
Room's
was the
gone.
raddest club?
Ruby
And it
Room.
wasn't in San Diego, but it was right outside San Diego. Was Iguanas in Tijuana.
Yeah.
That fucking place was
I've never been
rad.
there when
Saw
that shit was
Dream
going
Theater
off, but I
there.
heard about it.
I saw Sepultura there.
Nice. Yeah.
I saw Slayer there.
The Psychotic Waltz opening. And Prong.
I saw Prong in the Boulevard.
Oh god. I'd say the Boulevard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, question given.
Question's
Answer?
still unanswered.
Anything?
Really, it's up to Matt.
You
to
know
get
what?
the ball started. And I'm not gonna bark up his tree. You know, love the guy, but it's up to him if he wants to put the time and effort into it. And if he does, then I'm down.
Well, you know, we all have different things on our plate right now.
Not me,
you
but
know. Well, I know I do. I mean,
my
and I
plate
know-
is empty and I'm hungry. I'm very hungry.
I want some.
Can I please have some food?
Feed me. I get it. Totally. Oh man.
Hang in there, buddy.
Hey, yeah.
Well, I mean, okay.
I've told Michael that I'm working on what I'm working on, and when
His
it's done,
10-year project.
I have something that I need to do for myself. It's for myself only, and
No, I get that.
when I get it done, it'll be available to all of you as well. Take it and leave
Are we
it.
talking like an iTunes thing? Or are we talking about just a download? Or are we
you know,
talking about like
specifics, I
a,
don't
like
know
a
how I'm
physical
gonna
CD? Or what are we talking about?
Yeah, I mean, as far as distribution, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it'll probably entail one or multiple of what you just said, but yeah, I'm gonna put that out, and then I'm gonna totally open myself up again to playing for others. The thing for me was I had to pull away from working in projects with others because it was eating away at me that I couldn't finish what I started back in like 2002. I had stuff that I've been working on since I was out of high school, and I had to.
Well, if you've got a project of love, like something that's like literally a labor
my
of love,
life.
you need to complete that. I mean, that's literally one of
Exactly.
those like, okay, it's like if I've never been to Thailand before, and my ultimate goal in my fucking bucket list is to go to Thailand. Guess what? I'm gonna fucking book a fucking flight to Thailand. All right, it's just that simple. You know what I mean? And obviously, you've got this thing that's eating away at you in the back of your fucking brain that you want to finish this fucking project. You know what? Nothing else is going to fucking matter until that project is finished. I get that. All
That's
right, I
right.
totally get that. My point being that if that project is going to take you forever to finish, that maybe in the meantime you might want to look at doing something else.
Right. That's
All right.
Yeah. Putting a limit on it.
Yeah.
And that's probably a healthy choice to make.
Because otherwise, you're looking at a book that never ends. You're looking at you're basically like a J.K. Rowling that's writing the longest Harry Potter book ever made.
See, the only sad part is when I'm finished, it's probably going to be like 5 minutes of your time. Like, it's going to be one little song.
It's like, that's a really good fucking song,
It's
man.
going to be a children's song.
It took me 12 years to complete.
Exactly. Simple 4/4 bar.
But it's gonna be
your
so
standard
rad.
3-note progression. Probably in a country swing. That's where I'm going. And No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I can only go so far with so much time, and I've actually put on a limit. I've talked to my wife and stuff, and we have a set schedule. I play
You're
music.
married?
I am
Yeah,
married,
by the way, Matt's wife is here. Sarah, say hi. Come here and say hi. I want to, no, come here. Come on. Get on the mic. I want to say hi.
Hi, guys.
She's awesome, by the way.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, he's like, shit. Hi, I'm Sarah. How you doing? Yeah,
Not really.
no, she's like the coolest woman ever.
Ever?
Period. Ever. No, ever.
Wow.
I'm sorry, ever. She's rad. She's rad.
She's sexy.
That man is lucky as hell. She's rad.
What about Mother Teresa?
She's
Wasn't she
Australian.
No, she's
guys.
rad. She's fucking rad. Fuck off.
So yeah, I we agreed on a set schedule, and I'm gonna stick to that. I play a couple times a week and work on recording, and kind of have deadlines set. It's a little project that I'm working on. So
We still don't have an answer here, Rhett.
we'll get that done. And
No, and
then
honestly,
I
I don't think you're ever going to get an answer out of him until he actually feels satisfied that he is reaching the end of his goal.
That's why I really don't bug him about it.
Fucking tunnel, man.
Yeah.
You ever dug a tunnel where you just think you're gonna see the end of the
I would
light, but
be
it just doesn't come?
pretty
It's gonna come, right?
excited if I got a text from him saying, "Let's do it, dude. Let's start something up again." It's been a long time, but at the same time, give him his space so he can do what he needs to do.
Well, honestly, the thing is that Mikeal, is you have tied your fucking boat to
I have a boat?
Yeah, you have tied your boat to certain people. All right, not just certain ideas, but certain people.
Yeah,
Him being one of them.
You
and
get
him being
older,
another one.
you get older, you don't want to keep searching.
I get it. No,
for
I
people.
get
You just,
that.
Like, you
I
know
get
people
that.
you know how to work with and just go with it.
All right, but I'm just saying, but you know that for a fact, that you have tied yourself to certain people and certain people's schedules. All right? If Justin's schedule was wide the fuck open, you guys would be jamming all the goddamn time.
Probably.
Yeah. If Matt's schedule was wide the fuck open, you'd be jamming with him all the fucking time. If Travis's schedule was open, you'd be jamming with him all the fucking time. You know this to be true.
Well, then it would be a band.
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly. Well, I'm just saying, even if it was just one at a time, even if it was like, okay, you got him for 3 months, you got him for 3 months, and you got fucking Travis for 3 months, 3 different months throughout the year, you would do it. You would still fucking like, okay, I'm gonna fucking
Be a little weird.
But
Okay,
it's
I got you for 3
but in
months,
modern
I got you
recording, it's not unheard of.
For recording, yeah, but
Okay.
I actually miss the energy of live playing more than recording.
No, I get that. I get that. My point being is that I honestly believe that you're a talented enough guitarist and singer, by the way, that you could be doing a project right fucking now with other people and be okay. Because you are really fucking talented.
Thank you.
We got to find new fucking, exploits, new fucking interests, new fucking artistry. It's okay. And everybody in this room should be okay with that. To fucking find what interests them and gets them off at that time. It's okay. And honestly, I totally believe that fucking if we do that, everything's going to blow the fuck up.
So vintage porn is not okay?
No, it is not.
No, vintage porn is fine. Don't let anyone.
Don't
I
listen
thought-
to the bearded man. Do not listen to the bearded man.
I thought
Don't
vintage.
ever trust anyone that says don't listen to the bearded man.
Yeah, like that's messed up. I thought I was okay by watching vintage porn. I thought there was nothing wrong with it.
It doesn't matter what porn you watch.
He was talking about new and starting over, and it's not okay to go backwards. And
vintage porn, so now's my turn.
I'm confused, especially when he's trying to get us to put back the band together.
Look, what I'm saying is that
Go
it's okay.
backwards.
It's okay to fucking be reminiscent. I understand that. But the thing is that the talent that's in this room, and especially the 3 people I'm fucking staring at right now.
My butt hurts.
All right, all 3 of you are amazing talents. And the fact that I don't see you on a stage in San Diego at this very moment upsets me.
Really, you're upset?
Yeah.
You looked pretty happy earlier.
Yeah.
I'm upset,
He's not happy now.
but only because I'm out of whiskey.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of the 5th round of the SD Brewzik podcast. And I have to say that it is probably the drunkest I think I've ever been on the microphone, period.
You weren't even that drunk.
No, I was pretty hammered.
Wow.
I just don't slur like
You
like
don't
most
act
people do.
like
Yeah,
a
I don't-
fool
yeah,
and be brutally honest with
I try not to be.
your butt hurting and
and vintage porn.
your exploits in the bedroom when no one else is around.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I'm impressed. Hey, I mean, at least I'm honest, dude. You know, whatever.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let
It's
y'all
cool.
have it like it is. Tell it like it is.
So this has been the commentary section of the 5th round of the SD Brewzik podcast. Thanks very much for listening. I'd like to thank Justin Smith for having us over and
That's me.
setting everything up. And
You don't have to say my last name every time you announce me. It's okay. Just say Justin. You know,
All right.
I'm right here.
I would like to thank my buddy Justin
Yeah, how about that? That
for
sounds-
having us
all right.
over.
It sounds more personal. like-
Fucking asshole.
well, you know, I'm not just like this dude that's popping in every now and then.
No,
I'm
but
like,
again, not everybody knows you, homie.
hey, I'm a legitimate contribution to this endeavor.
Just saying, not everybody knows you. But they will. They will.
What's your last name?
Reichman.
Okay, just so we're clear.
Just saying.
This is Brett Reichman signing off.
So, yeah, with that, this is Brett Reichman, and we are signing off. Thank you very much
We
for
are.
listening, guys.
Thanks
and,
for putting up with our shit.
Yeah, this has
Oh,
just
my
been
goodness.
a fucking
Wow.
exercise in drunken futility.
Yeah, there was some funny stuff, but yeah, a lot of it's just ridiculous.
So, yeah, make sure you check out your local band, go to a local brewery, have a local beer, and you guys be good to each other. Peace out.
He's probably going to puke in the bathroom. That's where I would puke if I had a choice. He might be he might be passed out in the bathroom in his own puke.
Gross.
I think puke is gross anyway.
Absolutely, and it smells terrible.
It smells like nothing else in this world. When you smell puke, you know it's puke. Nothing else ever smells like puke.
Puke is puke.
Unless it's puke.
You're weird.
That's kind of the point. I want Brett to hear this and say, what the fuck was Justin smoking?
He's smoking puke.
It certainly wasn't puke.
Maybe he puked after he smoked.
That's happened to me before.
Really? When you smoked, you got sick and puked?
Only if I'd been drinking and I wasn't used to smoking. That's called crossfade.
Does that mean I'm going to puke
You could.
right now?
No, you would generally have to be drunk first and then smoke. And then you get sick as fuck and puke. That's when it happens. If you were smoked out and then you decided to drink, you're good to go. Totally.
Well, I drank some before, and then after
Well, then you would already be feeling it.
I would already feel like I was going to puke.
Puke, yes.
I guess that says it all.
That does say it all. Good night.